just chilling with Adam, yeah, I'm just chilling with Adam, I'm just chilling with Adam, look, that's the host of Adam, I'm just chilling with Adam.
All right, this is Adam22 show. Adam Shoe, Jimmy Shoe show, number 11. I'm here with Chris Long, his brother Matty, and Lavelle, a.k.a. De Lavelle. We actually just introduced him to Night Lavelle. You didn't know about him before?
I didn't.
No, he's legit.
I'm gonna look him up after this.
He's fire, and he was just hitting us up, and we told him that we got a different Lavelle, and it's De Lavelle.
And you got the same name, yeah. So
that's like the best thing ever. Okay, and then we have Matty, who is a very, very rare cameo because he's never in California.
Nope, he hates California.
Doesn't do press per se. Former professional BMX rider. Had a stint in the limelight. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about who the fuck you guys are. Chris Long, tell us about you and your brother and where you're from.
We're brothers from Massachusetts, and we used to ride BMX. He used to be a professional BMX rider. I used to be a professional BMX filmer, per se.
How did that happen? How did you guys end up fucking entering the BMX industry together like a couple of fucking retarded hillbillies?
I mean, I've always filmed and played with cameras and did all sorts of shit like that, and I've always filmed us riding, and then he just got really good. Mm-hmm. And it was just inevitable. He just got really good, and I was just like, damn, he's really good. And then, like, you know, we had connections, obviously, like you, and having the come up was a good outlet for us to blow up, you know what I mean? Like, make Matty, like, known to people and stuff like that. And then we had, like, some other people. Like, a big help was Jerry Bagley, which is an older pro from Massachusetts who lives in California. But he saw some of Matty's riding and stuff like that, and then, you know, put the good word into some people, and then one thing led to another, and then Matty started getting hooked up.
By Volume Bikes.
By Volume Bikes.
Greatest bike company of all time.
The single greatest bike company.
I just saw that Jason Enns no longer rides for Volume anymore.
What a shame.
End of an era.
I know, right?
Like the longest running professional BMX sponsor, I think, of all time.
I mean, that's good that he was able to...
Not of all time, but of, you know, longest running until it ended.
I'm glad he made it last that long, because Jason's like... I mean, we all are friends with Jason. He's super cool. He's the coolest old guy we know.
Mm-hmm. Facts. And then, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they just said he was riding a T1 in some fucking article I saw. It's always weird, like, you know, because we're just from this era of BMX that... Don't you just feel fucking ancient?
Yeah, I mean, I can't relate to anything that goes on in BMX at this point anymore.
I mean, I just feel fucking ancient in the sense that, like, when something really, like, there's a really big deal, like Jason Enns changing his sponsor happens, it's like, it feels like there's nobody talking about it. And I'm like, yeah, I guess that makes sense because I had his signature frame in 1999. So I guess it makes sense that in 2018 that maybe it's not the most talked about thing. 20 years is a long time.
Well, what's actually surprising me is that, like, when we talk about shit about riding, like, in our group chat or whatever, which is, like, my only, like, source of BMX information is, like, my friends that still ride. I'm, like, still, like, so surprised at, like, some of the dudes that are still out there, like, riding, being pro riders and stuff like that. I don't know. We just seems like a uphill battle.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that we don't think about is that if you don't have, like, catastrophic injuries, then riding is probably, like, pretty fun. Like, you can just go and ride.
No, yeah, I mean,
no big deal.
I don't disagree with riding's fun.
But by the time you're in your 30s, if you don't have really bad injuries, you're really, really, really lucky and out of the ordinary.
The guys that are still, like, grinding to, like, be pro, do pro things that are just older and just, like...
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, hey, good for them.
I mean, riding... not trying to make a living off it. I don't know.
So let's hear about it from your perspective, the whole getting sponsored process, and let's talk about your eventual disillusionment with BMX.
What, like where it started?
Yeah, like just from your perspective, like were you like a kid in high school thinking like, oh, I'm going to be a sponsored pro, and I'm going to fucking be able to actually do this?
Yeah, I was, but it's not the right mentality to have. I feel like I kind of had the wrong mentality.
But who you were looking at? Because it's like there weren't really that many East Coast pros.
No, especially from our area too.
Yeah.
Brian Hunt kind of came up before me.
He's like the great exception of our sort of generation, I guess, from that area.
I feel like he paved the way too, for like especially for me, because when we were growing up, they had their own clique up north, and, like Off the Maps and stuff like that. All those videos, and we would always run into them in skate parks, and they were like the local superheroes.
Yeah.
So
Brian Hunt, Clint Reynolds. Before him was Josh Hino, but Josh Hino I think was like the only one of his sort of era. And also Brian like stayed back east and shit too. You know, it's like it wasn't like he moved to Southern California to make it. He got like sponsored as a New Hampshire pro.
He was always traveling though. He definitely
True.
Yeah, he was always traveling, but he always kept it in New Hampshire. Now he's in Austin being a fucking craft beer connoisseur, but
Yeah, bearded fuck. Because that's like a weird connection to still have because I always just talk to Brian in our fucking group chat. Someone I would probably never talk to otherwise. No offense to him.
I mean, because you're right.
Like, what the
I mean,
fuck
I
are we
used
going
to
to
hang
talk
around Brian
about?
a lot
Craft
back
beer?
home, but like we lived near each other, used to ride with each other and stuff. But yeah, the group chat, I just definitely kept some friends alive for a long time.
Right. As a total aside, and also something that only BMX people are going to understand is Clint Reynolds. You see that his fucking parents' house and their
I just read that for
all
the
their
first
shit
time,
burned
like 15
down.
minutes ago. Yeah.
Whew. He had like $100,000 GoFundMe or whatever.
Yeah, and he's actually doing really well too.
That's good.
crazy.
'Cause Clint and his family, they're really humble, cool people. I don't know.
True.
It sucks.
It's just sad.
Sucks, yeah.
Fucking
It's weird that
fire.
good things or bad things happen to good people. Like he's just like a genuinely good person,
Right.
and like I don't know his family personally, but I'm sure if they raise him that way, then they're also genuinely good people.
Yeah.
So it's weird that things like that happen.
Fucking fire, dude. I've never even thought about what it'd be like if my fucking house burned down.
Yeah, you lose all your shit.
Everything.
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 Oof. It's like so devastating. Just starting over.
Yeah.
Anyway, so speaking of car fires, let's talk about getting sponsored and becoming a BMX pro. What was the part of it that was so disillusioning for you?
I really had beef with what like. Are you asking me like what I just didn't like about BMX and what made me fall out of it?
Or just why
essentially?
being a BMX pro sucks and why it just seems like it doesn't work out for very many people in the long run.
I mean, it gets old after a while. I mean, I was traveling through high school because like Brian was bringing me along on trips and stuff. We would always go down to like Woodward and stuff like that. But you get into this like trap of you don't make a lot of money, which is fine, and you start to accept it. But then you get in this weird like trap hole of like sleeping on floors, and it just gets old really quick, especially when you start to approach like your 20s. You know what I mean? You want more in your life, I feel like, or like, you know, mid 20s, you just want more. Like I couldn't afford anything. I literally couldn't afford
What was the most you were
anything.
ever earning at any point, like with all sponsors involved? Like probably like $1,000.
Yeah, like right around $1,000.
BMX sucks.
Primo with like parts and frame sponsor.
Yeah, it's just
It's
at
just
this
not
point.
a lot. $1,000 a month.
Oof.
You got to think about that.
Hell no.
Try living on $1,000 a month.
That's
Well,
rough.
the thing is, yeah, like you can't do that without having a job, and then they expect you to be able to like travel and do all this stuff, and
Or unless you're a rich kid.
riding and putting all this work, and it's like, how are we supposed to not be working?
It sucks because that dream of being a BMX pro is like as rare as it was or as hard as it was to pull off like, 10 years ago when it happened to you. It's like same thing now, but way worse because there's less sponsors. Like a shoe sponsor is damn near impossible at this point, especially if you're a young kid. Like we so rarely see young dudes who come up in BMX that actually are able to get to a point where they actually are able to, provide for themselves. That's like a thing that's sort of been lost as all these sponsors have lost themselves from the game.
Yeah,
It's sad.
I mean,
I feel bad.
yeah. How do you do it? I mean, most of the kids do it now. It's just like the YouTube thing, pretty much.
Which is sad. No, I feel like there was like a YouTube boom, that there was like this bubble that sort of like cropped up for a while. And now it feels like a lot of people have sort of like become disillusioned with it because, it's like to be a vlogger, you kind of like fuck up your image.
I know.
And then also you like, it's like, I don't know. You haven't really seen anybody really blow up with it. Like Scotty Kramer blew up for a period of time,
Yep.
but then it kind of
Yeah,
was
yeah,
accident.
YouTube?
And then
Yeah.
that does
What
blow
about
up as like
Adam
a
LZ?
douche.
Adam LZ. But Adam LZ's channel's not even like BMX at all now. It's all car shit.
Oh,
I mean, he
I
got to
didn't
his point in
know.
his life when he realized like BMX is one thing, and then you can go a different direction where you're gonna make more money. you know?
I mean, yeah, it's only going to get you so far. But you can't, like, it's weird because you have these people that kind of look down on you for having that mentality that you just want. Like, you want money so you can keep riding. It's not, you don't want to get rich off of riding.
Right.
But you have people that, like, look down on you to even expect any sort of compensation for like your
Like,
work. Essentially.
BMX is such a hardcore subculture that it's like looked down upon to want to make money from it. But I think now at this point, it's like the opportunities are so dry that BMX has become kind of like less elitist in a way because there's just so few opportunities.
I mean, I always thought those kids were like the plague to BMX anyway. Like,
Who?
the elite, like, I don't want to name anyone in particular, but just like the older generation, I feel like the people who think you're still supposed to ride 44.2 sprockets and pedal as fast as you can and everything. It's just like,
But they're gone. Like there's no like. I mean, I guess there probably are. You know, the old heads left and stuff.
I mean,
but
I
it's
don't
just
pay attention. They could be gone, which is a great thing for
BMX is just such a young man's game, and it always kind of was, but now it is so much more dramatically because it's just like the whole image that like when I was a kid, I was looking at like there a lot of dudes like going to places like Section 8, and they're like BMX dudes who are in their like early mid 20s, and it's still like a cool thing for them to be doing. These young kids now, they don't have that many like role models of dudes because just dudes don't fucking keep riding into their like mid late 20s like they used to.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what are you gonna do at your late 20s making $1,000 a month?
Yeah.
Like you can only do that for so long.
Yeah, like BMX or like skate pros don't even make that much money really, but like they still make like, enough to like get by. So it's like that dream is still alive of like being a pro skater, even if it's not that great.
But I feel like in the skateboard world, there's still structure. Like kids could just get sponsored and just leech. I just called them leeches because they would just do nothing. They would contribute nothing.
In BMX, you mean?
Yes, and just get paid. Like why are you putting this kid on? Usually it would be like a friend thing or like a homie thing, but it's just like you're wasting space. Like get out of here. You know what I mean?
But I remember when BMX was ripe enough that you could be like a bum ass pro that was actually like earning a living and just you weren't doing shit. But now it's like the purse strings are so tight that it's like take a company like Odyssey. Like Odyssey, I remember when Odyssey was still supporting Jimmy Levan, still supporting all these fucking old heads, even though they were still like super late in their career.
Yeah.
At a certain point, like, and it's not like it was recent. It might have been like 5 years ago at this point, but they like got rid of all the old heads because they just have to be realistic. Like, who's selling parts?
You
Yeah,
have
exactly.
to be realistic. Why were they
who's
there
even
for
doing
this
it?
long
Yeah,
anyway?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the first question in my mind.
I mean, they
But
were
no
doing it for that long, like
disrespect,
charity type thing, basically at a certain point, because they know they're not like earning. Well, not charity, but they know they're not getting a return on that investment, but it's a long-term return. It's like you have to think about the overall brand. But the problem is that BMX has become such a young kid sport that the kids who are in it like don't even really give a fuck about the culture, and they're too young to fucking know who Jimmy Levan is. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
I wouldn't expect them to either. I just feel like it's just a waste. It's just I understand that it's respectful and it's good for like a company to keep a guy on that's been loyal for so long, but at a point you're just driving your business into the ground. If you're just wasting money, you're not driving it into the ground, but you're just that money could be better off in a young kid's hands. What I mean?
You can do that when you have enough money to go around. That's at a certain point in BMX, it's just
But
like
has there ever been enough
I
money
don't
to
feel
go
like
around?
there's ever been that much money to go. Even when I was involved, I don't really think there was that much money to go around.
yeah, it wasn't great, but I think that like 10 years ago that BMX was like 10 times bigger than it is now in terms of like sales and stuff.
I literally don't pay attention to it anymore. It's like kind of sad.
Yeah,
It's such a huge part of my life.
I pay attention to the actual riding. Like I watch like every relevant video, and I'm always kind of like looking for like who the rider kids that I should be paying attention to are. It's just kind of depressing because sometimes it feels like there are so few like new young kids that are actually like really, really killing it. But there definitely are. Like you definitely see dudes. It's just like you see less sometimes. It used to feel like, oh, there are just so many good kids, and it's just fucking annoying. Now, like I'm like, yo, if I see like an 18-year-old kid that's really good, I'm like, fuck yes, that's so tight that there's actually like kids still coming around.
How is like the competitive spot or like the competitive scene? Because when I was riding, it was like, you had like your tiers of pros, I guess you could say, and I was obviously never like a top tier dude like a Corey Martinez or a Nathan Williams, but like.
That old era, that was like when you were pro and stuff, was kind of like when there were still good street contests and like, there was just good content.
Anymore?
Not like it used to be because there's no more do tours. X Games has been kind of downsized over and over. Like,
is it still all the same people?
Or it's still like the same judges in X Games as it was.
Because it was always like, and obviously no disrespect, but like it was always like Jorge Martinez, Nathan Williams, Dakota. Like
Still-
every contest was the same group of people.
Garrett
Yeah.
Reynolds.
And then Garrett would just take it. every
Garrett
time.
still wins every street contest more or less. Yeah, I mean he's he's lost ones here and there I think, but like I mean he's always like been able to lose like one and then just win the next 10.
I mean, but he doesn't count.
Yeah,
It's crazy that he's
definitely
still
out there.
at this time doing it.
No, but when I think about dudes who are like around Garrett's level, I think like Sean Ricciani is like pretty fucking unbelievable. Like Colin Varniak is just retarded. Like he's
That dude's been good for so long.
yeah.
I remember seeing him when I was like, I don't even know, like I couldn't even drive, like 15 years old, down at what was Scotty Kramer's Park?
Incline Club,
Yeah,
which
dude,
RIP, that's gone.
That's gone.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, he was killing it back then.
Do you even know what happened to Scotty Kramer?
Yes.
Okay.
I do know about that.
Yeah, that was pretty
I
bad.
feel awful. Like, not really.
No, I mean
Being
that
in
was
the
just
loop, but-
just a crazy. Like I mean, there's a chance that you'd not know about that. Were you a Paul Buchanan fan?
Yes.
Because that's crazy that he.
I was fortunate enough because of him to like know like your era. Because
Right.
I don't think anyone my age would know that era, but I knew it through him.
Right.
Like I watched like growing up, I like religiously watched Domination. We had Domination. We had what was the crazy one with no soundtrack, just noises
Oh, on the download.
on the down low.
Yeah.
Like
That's
all
gone.
these Exit 63 was a
There
huge
are a lot of
one.
standard videos. It was definitely a
Like,
standard dude.
So I was fortunate enough to like know about that era, and I knew about Paul Buchanan because I was like aware when T1 became a company. Even though
Right.
I feel like most people my age weren't really like aware of that, but
Right. There's so much like weird history that we know about with that shit. It almost feels like we were like we speak Roman or no Latin. Latin. Sorry, Roman. What the fuck is wrong with me? Like we speak Latin because we're talking about something that like so few people like remember the intricacies of like that era in BMX because people just get out of it at a certain point. So it's like there's just not that many people to talk about that shit with. And like even when you think about people from can you believe that kid went and did a fucking double bar spin down El Toro?
Oh my god.
who was that kid? I
I
actually
forget his
watched
name.
that video.
He's fucking super sick though. He does all kinds of fucking double bar stuff.
And he's how old is he?
I think he's like 16.
Insane.
16 is definitely a good age to fucking hurl yourself down El Toro.
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we should talk about Lavelle for a minute. Scoot over a little bit closer to Matty because you're almost out of camera.
Scoot over.
How you doing?
I'm chilling.
You're chilling.
High up these backwoods.
Introduce yourself to the people out there.
I'm Vel.
Dry spell
I'm
Lavelle.
Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
I
Davell.
ride. I drive cars. That's about it.
And how do we meet you? Tell us about what it was like to meet us.
Fuck. How did that? Me and Day Day were like, we were rolling down the block of the old house and we seen Tony Nair in the window. And we knew Tony, so we were like talking to him about some shit. And we ended up coming upstairs and I was just
And you were like 15, right?
yeah, we were pretty young.
Our
It's like
usual,
around that time.
I was probably about 28. Just start kicking it with the local neighborhood 15-year-olds, like no big deal.
we had some bottles and shit, and
Yeah.
we was up there
You used to steal bottles for us from what, Stater Brothers?
everywhere, bro. There
I
was,
remember
like,
that
wherever.
you came through and like I remember the first time that you just walked into the living room and you had mad balls of liquor. You're like, yo, we just
had
stole
a
this
backpack
shit.
full of bottles. I still had the fucking the
like the shoplifted proof shit.
Trying
we're
to
sitting
smash
there
the
trying to
fucking
break
covers
the
off
seals
it.
off of them.
How would you do that? You just walk. They had like a side exit.
Well, we didn't really give a fuck, so we just walk in there and just stuff our shit and just walk out. Like, you
Yeah.
feel me? Like, we were low key about it. We weren't like all burnt and shit. I mean, but we were just young as fuck with no money. And
Didn't you knock out a security guard one time?
yeah, I mean, there's been so many different fucking different knockout occasions. Like one
Right.
time, some guy tried to stop us, and Day Day fucking threw a bottle on the ground, socked him, and fucking like kicked him and shit. And like that's kind of when we like
Right.
chilled out on it because I was like, yeah, we can't be like going that hard. You feel me? Like, you
Yeah,
know,
you're gonna have a fucking
you know what I
wanted
mean? Like,
poster up
yeah,
for you if you
feel me?
keep
I'm
doing
like,
that.
It's not that serious, you know what I mean? So
And I mean, you were stealing bottles of liquor and selling them for like $10.
$10.
it just depends on what it was. For you guys, we were hooking you guys up because y'all was blessing us with bike parts and fucking clothes and letting
True.
us damn near live there, basically. You feel me? So
It's just crazy because that was like 10 years ago, and that's something
Yeah,
I
that's a
probably
minute
wouldn't want to do now.
It was a
I
long
would feel
time
like,
ago.
damn, maybe I'll get in trouble if I'm like basically just giving this kid money to commit crimes for me. Even at the time, I was like, he's going to be stealing this shit either way, so I might as well fucking save myself some money.
At the time, it was still living off BMX money, so buying bottles of liquor for $10 to getting drunk for the
we were
fucking...
hooking Chris Long up. We were for sure every time it was like make sure we get like 3-4 bottles of Jameson, like no matter what.
Do you remember that time that we were all sitting in the fucking living room and we were on the second floor of this apartment in Long Beach, and fucking a cop is just driving real slow down the block, and they slow down, and you had just fucking stole some bottles from the store, and a cop fucking slows down, and somebody's standing out on the porch thing smoking a cigarette, and they're like, hey, what's the address here? He says the address, and he's like, I forget what the other questions he asked was, a couple questions, but then he just kept on going. Meanwhile, Chris Long hits the fucking like military crawl on the ground with the bottle so he could hide it in the closet in case they came up.
We were all
I don't remember
paranoid,
that.
high as fuck.
I remember you hit the ground and were like,
I remember that.
that was so
something I
fun.
would do.
So fucking funny, man. That was such a bad like era in terms of us just going to the bar every night and just getting
Every
fucked
night.
up.
We had nothing else to do.
I was like fucking 15, 16, getting into all the bars and shit, trying to just fucking turn up.
You got in? Yeah, I guess I remember you in there sometimes.
Yeah, we would be in there for sure. Like, it was cool. I don't even do it like that no more, but
By the time, well, how old are you now?
24.
24, and I've been friends with you for 10 years. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Man, we came a long way, guys. I remember there was all those fucking random ass Mexican kids who were even younger than you. They used to always. It was, you know, it was Catfish, because Catfish. It made sense with you coming up and hanging out with us and stuff because you were riding BMX. But with the Catfish would have all these like 10-year-old fucking Mexican kids in the living room watching cartoons with him and shit.
Yo, but shout out to Jose that lived across the
Jose,
street
who is
from
still
us.
the homie, he still comes around here sometimes.
Still the homie, and because we used to get free Monster, remember that?
Yes.
And they used to
Yeah,
give
I
them a
remember
case of free Monster.
Catfish would throw him out the window at the kids. He got them like addicted to Monster, and then they kept coming back.
But then I would give them a case of free Monster, and then they give me like 25 tamales.
Yeah, their moms.
My girlfriend, I was telling Laura about this. I used to come there and there'd be a plate of tamales on the counter.
The moms would definitely cook for us sometimes and shit. But I remember, the fool downstairs, the fucking time that what happened? We threw water balloons at Sean Moore, or no, at Catfish, and drenched the fucking downstairs neighbor, and he got so fucking
He was
mad.
pissed in his truck. He just washed too, or something like that. And we did so much awful shit there, and we
So
never got the
much.
cops called on us.
Never.
Ever. I think the
Never had the cops
I think
come
the cops
once.
Actually, no, I think they did come one time. I forget what it was
But
about.
they didn't come upstairs, right? They never searched the house or came in.
No, they
really.
never came in the house. No,
Which
we
is
never-
amazing.
Yeah, which is the craziest shit.
Thank God.
We had like the craziest grow room when we first started going. It stunk so bad. And then like we had someone living in the grow room for a while. Remember that,
Yeah.
Rory?
Lost his mind.
Yeah.
I'm not paying rent if I have to live in this fucking room. He was living in the grow room with the lights and everything. It's like fucking hell on earth.
That's fucked up.
Yo, that was so funny. I remember one time Catfish, he was dating this fucking girl, and me and Chris just like walk up to his door, and for some reason he's just like standing there with his towel on, and fucking the girl, he just walks over to the girl, opens the towel, and then she just blatantly starts giving him head behind the towel, and we're both standing there like like jaws dropped, like what the fuck. And then he just removes the towel, and all of a sudden we're seeing this girl just suck his dick. We're just like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, why is this girl down for this too? What the fuck is going on?
That was his girlfriend at the time, wasn't it?
That was his what was her name? Dana?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Was she
I don't remember.
was she the black girl?
Yes.
Yeah, from where was she from?
No, but not the one that you're not Mini Pop.
Not, I don't know who Mini Pop is.
Mini Pop is like his last
The
girlfriend.
one
They
from
date-
like Maryland or Baltimore. or
Probably,
something like
yeah.
that?
He dated this other girl for like 5 years, and then she just recently broke up with him.
Oh.
He's just been steadily losing his mind.
I haven't even heard from him forever, or like even looked at any form of social media.
You're lucky.
Catfish was on a bunch of like early No Jumper episodes too, so he's kind of like a topical thing that people probably want to know what the fuck's going on with him. Anyway, I don't know. He's back in Ohio for whatever reason.
Is he still traveling and like being a part of BMX?
Not really.
I don't know.
I mean,
He was doing the Nitro Circus thing for a while.
that took over his life for a while. He was just doing Nitro Circus, but then I feel like that went away, and now he's just kind of like, oh, what the fuck do I do? Because he's, at a certain point, he kind of fucked up a lot of the contest stuff for him by just being a psycho and just fucking talking shit and everything. And
he was way too liberal, I feel like.
he was just out of it. Not even liberal. He was just out of his mind. It was the conspiracy
psychopath.
theories, that talking shit about random people for no reason.
Liberal with whatever's on his
Oh,
mind.
yeah,
He
yeah,
had
yeah.
no problem, no filter. Rather.
Dude, the fucking conspiracy theories and stuff are.
chemtrails he would always
The
talk
earth
about.
is
still
flat.
does.
Believe it.
He got in
Flat
such a big argument with me at a Hooters in China about 9/11 because he believed it was an inside job and shit that he couldn't even eat his food. And he was like really hungry, and then he couldn't eat his food because he was so mad that I wouldn't buy into his conspiracy theory about it.
Is this when we went to China?
It might have been. I think I've been to China with him.
Yeah, multiple times.
Yeah. I haven't been in a long time. It's been a long time since I've been to Asia.
R.I.P. Catfish.
Actually, I went to Japan a couple of years ago. Yeah, Catfish. No, not R.I.P. He's still alive, barely, hanging on by a thread. What is he, 49?
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Catfish's mind.
But I would like to see him sit here and refute our claims that he is out of his fucking mind.
I mean, I keep inviting him to come stay. So
Shout
I'm
out
like, get out,
Catfish.
come stay to California for a week. Just stay in my apartment.
But at a
whatever,
certain
my
point,
house.
do you have to feel like with somebody like Catfish that you have to feel like it's time to stop giving them a hard time about how fucked up they are and actually just be like, poor guy. Like,
No.
he needs to figure out what the fuck he's doing. Because, it's not easy to be a 49-year-old fucking BMX guy who's a midget and he's fucking,
Not in our group.
I don't know, all these stupid tattoos all over you that say all these weird words and shit.
We're going to break him.
Made up words.
Not going to stop till he breaks.
I mean, but the part of the reason why it's hard to feel empathy for him as opposed to just like making fun of him is because of the fact that he himself is just constantly picking fights with everyone in the world. Not like us so much, but everyone
No, not
else.
us, no. I mean, we still talk to him all the time.
He just finds the most bizarre reasons to be offended on the internet, and it's just that kind of thing maybe was more common back in the day, and now it seems weird.
Yeah. Well, he's too old.
He doesn't know that the world has changed. He still thinks it's rotten.com.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God, he used to always play those videos, man.
Always. You wake up.
Probably still does. That's the thing. He probably still does the same shit he did 5 years
You
ago.
wake
We all
up,
lived together.
he's
Wake
showing
up.
you a video of a fucking Muslim dude executing some guy. And then it's like, oh, look at this video of a fucking 6-year-old falling out of a moving vehicle. Just the worst things ever.
I remember that.
Oh, my God.
And then he do a bunch of drugs and then try to rap in his room for a while and then go riding.
Rap? What was that old computer thing that you
Oh
guys
my
used to
gosh.
rap on?
All auto-tuned and
GarageBand?
shit?
No, it would like you would see people and you could like hit next
Oh,
or whatever.
Oh,
chat roulette.
Chat roulette. Those were the funnest nights.
I remember Rory going on it and just being like, what's up, fucking fag? You're gay. Hey.
Oh, look, you got your dick out. Ha ha.
And Catfish would just sit there fucking zooted out of his mind, just fucking playing on
Rapping
chat
with
roulette.
with a laser pointer.
Oh, the laser pointers. That was so him. He created that shit, bro. I remember just driving around in China with these fucking crazy strong laser pointers, just blasting other people driving, fucking people on their bikes, cars. Like, he was so ignorant with it. And then the thing about China is that everybody is so chill that you can just do that shit and nobody will fucking care. Like, I remember taking the fucking laser pointers back here and trying to do it, like just fuck around with it in public.
So many fights.
you.
We got so many fights because of that. So many fucking fights. Everywhere you go.
Couple fights over.
In China, you could just do it because people just won't press the issue. But man, those laser pointers, bro. Remember that? You could point it at like another fucking person's apartment, like like many blocks away, and just be flashing them in the face, and they just couldn't do shit about it.
Anything about it.
You don't flash them in the face because by the time they hit you, they're painting.
Yeah,
your
you're
whole
painting.
body.
That's what he used to say. Oh, paint your face. It'd be
Yeah.
like a green face. Go.
Because
You would
could
sit
just
so
try
far
to do
away.
this,
Just do it
just
to people.
getting,
I remember just driving around in China doing that shit. He was so ignorant with it too. He'd be doing it to the drivers of the cabs
We
and
used to
shit.
just go perch up in Boston somewhere and sit somewhere and just do it. And just do it like people across the block. And then just so many fights would happen.
When I moved downtown LA, I used to just stand in my apartment, just doing it out the window at people, just fucking with people. I actually want to do it again now that I think about it.
I still have one.
Damn, there's like a fast food restaurant across the street from my house. I could probably just fucking destroy the staff's lives.
I remember when we first got it when I still lived in Massachusetts and I was doing it like out the window of my mom's house, and then like someone came back
Cops
and
came.
Okay.
pulled in my driveway and shit.
the
Cops
sto-
came and shit.
The story to end all stories is the kid that Catfish got into it, who has had the green laser pointer, and he fucking flashed it at a helicopter
remember
that was
that.
going
Yeah.
overhead, and then the fucking helicopter crew triangulated the fucking
Because it was a
location
police
that it was coming
helicopter.
from. They go there, it's a house party, they search the party, they find the green laser, and then the kid do serious jail time over it.
I don't know what actually happened, but I heard he was facing serious jail time because it was a police helicopter.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what his charge was or whatever, but they fucked that kid up. Isn't that insane?
No joke. I heard about that actually. Like someone was doing that in like Arizona a long time ago under the airport.
Yeah.
I've done it to helicopters.
Yeah. I've done it to planes and shit. Yeah.
Long Beach all the time. And I'd be like, I don't give a
We
fuck.
used to be super ignorant with it. I don't know what the fuck we were thinking.
Have that fucking laser. I remember.
Listen, if I was that kid, I never in a million years would have known that they could fucking figure out where it was coming from. That's so high tech, you know?
I'm shocked. Like, what the fuck?
Isn't that insane?
That's crazy. They don't play
Insane
with
shit,
that shit,
bro. Scary shit. Let's just
Shout out to laser pointers.
let's just talk about what a piece of shit Catfish is with that fucking laser pointer for the rest of this video.
He let me stay in his bed every time I
I
stayed
fucks
with
with
you guys.
Catfish.
No, I love Catfish.
I fucks with Catfish too.
Catfish is the best. He's just, there's no doubt that he's losing his mind.
It's just when you're
We still tell him this all
if
the
you're
time.
gonna be friends with Catfish, you have to make making fun of Catfish a big part of your friendship with Catfish. There's no way around it.
Yes.
So what did you start doing once you left the BMX world?
I don't know if I should talk about it.
That's how I feel when someone asks me. I'm just like, oh, fuck.
I just don't want to self-incriminate.
Yeah.
That's exactly
No,
how
I mean, hey,
feel, bro.
I just trapped hard. I don't know.
yeah.
That's basically what I
He
did.
doesn't do it anymore, but he used to. No, I guess Chris exact same
Trapped
thing.
hard.
Well, Chris got into the fucking legal weed business,
Well,
sort of.
none
Undercover
of the
shops.
shops I worked in were illegal shops.
like, I trapped too.
Fuck, they're trap shops.
Okay, but did you feel like you were breaking the law working there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a weed shop, but before the era of legal weed shops that we live in now, none of us were thinking that like
I
weed
mean,
shops were super illegal,
It
right?
felt more legal than like driving around in Massachusetts with my
Right.
weed stuffed like somewhere in my
trunk, like me,
somewhere
like
in my
us?
car.
Didn't you get arrested at a certain point, like at a
Yeah, I
dispensary?
was at a dispensary. I got raided.
Oh, shit.
And so then, what happened in that moment? And what year was this?
What year was this? Probably 2014, maybe 13, 14, something like that.
Was it the one on Broadway?
Shout out to
Yeah,
Arrowhead.
that's the one on Broadway. They just fucking they opened an investigation on the shop because they're all illegal, and they open an investigation. They investigate for like 3 months, and then they just come in and raid. They came in, you know, SWAT team comes in. Fuck, I saw the helmets through the shadow of the window, and I was actually helping because I was like managing the shop, and I never really help people, but I was actually helping someone, and I was like right by the window, I was like fuck. So I started like running to go to the back room just to grab my cell phone so I could stuff it in my pocket, and then they came in too fast. Fucking I was like about to go through the door to go in the back room. They're like freeze. I was like ah.
That was your only concern.
Yeah, because I didn't want to get my phone like taken away, which it did. It was
Yeah.
like right iPhone 6.
Did you
plus
not get it
just
back for like weeks?
I never got it back.
Ever?
No.
Yeah, they take that
Do
shit.
they,
as
do they go
evidence.
through it? Can they legally go through it?
Oh, I fucking as soon as I got bailed out, I went and fucking erased it.
Oh, like from
Like
home?
I found my iPhone, I just fucking bricked it. That was it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That works.
yeah.
Wow.
So they had nothing on that. But yeah, then I went to, you know, they arrested you. You sit there for a couple hours and they fucking take you to jail, and you sit in jail until the actual owners of the dispensary got us bailed out. So it was like 15 hours in jail.
Wow.
That was it. It wasn't too bad.
I
It
didn't
isn't
know.
South Central though, so it kind of sucked.
All these girls working in weed shops and shit, they're all criminals. They all need to be thrown in jail.
All the girls got arrested. Everyone got arrested.
Good.
Yeah, everybody going to jail. You going to jail? You going to jail?
But you know, we
Everybody.
went to court a bunch of times. It took like a year. I was on like, you know, out on bail or whatever, and then court a bunch of times, and then just got fucking dropped. Like literally went into court one day, and I'm like, this is one day. I'm like, whatever. And I showed up late, and they're calling me like, hurry up, they're dropping our case today. I was like, oh motherfucker, of course. So I get there, and then the district attorney or whatever is like, this is stupid. There's no reason why these people should be arrested. We just don't want to proceed with this case. And I'm like, all right, all set.
They probably knew that was going to happen anyway, huh?
And I was like, yeah, they just want to go in and take all the weed and money and shit like that.
And
Right.
keep that shit.
Yeah, but I just
Swear
like
to God.
it was like so lucky because there was like $1,000 in the safe. I just had like 50 grand in there the night before, and I just emptied it out. Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's not like it's your money anyway, right?
No, so yeah.
Still would have been their money, shit, if they would have got that shit. So fuck them.
You ever work in a weed shop?
Fuck the ops.
Fuck the ops. That's Lavelle's message to the people. I could tell that you're high even by like your normal standards.
Just backwoods, bro. I smoke swishers. I'll come here and smoke like 10 backwoods, and I'll be all lightheaded and shit.
Smoke Swishers?
Yeah, I smoke swishers. Shout out Swisher Sweets.
He puts a 0.6 in a swisher.
What
The fuck?
I be stuffing that shit. I fucking smoke swishers.
Nah.
Ain't
Daddy, you
nothing
never
wrong
got
with
into smoking weed?
No, I smoke weed.
You do?
Yeah.
A lot?
What?
Yeah.
I passed.
Oh.
I passed you like 10 times. What?
Well, this is happening, so I just want.
That was a good decision. Normally people do the opposite. Rappers come in here, they decide to get crazy high.
I'll just get so awkward and
Yeah.
inward, and I just wouldn't talk. So
What do you smoke? Blunts or you smoke an apple ball or something?
I eat a lot of edibles lately.
Really?
I eat a lot of edibles.
You on your Joe Rogan shit.
I love Joe Rogan. Joey Diaz.
You're him too?
Yeah.
Oh, you're deep then. All right, cool. I'm surprised you didn't get into like jujitsu.
No, I'm too small.
Yeah.
There's just no
But
point.
you could do it anyway. That's the gentle way, bro.
Yeah. But I smoke. I just do like the.
You ever
just
order
buy
from
raw-
On It?
No, I don't think they have that back home.
On It?
Yeah, what's that?
The Joe Rogan like supplement online store?
Oh, I thought you were talking about weed or something.
All right, no, keep going.
No, I have not.
Okay, me
I
neither.
just do the typical raw cone. Stuff the raw cone and just twist it.
Oh, okay. Stuff the rock cone.
Raw.
Typical white boy stuff.
Rah.
No blunts for me.
Yeah. You too soft for that. You're not a real rapper yet.
I never really smoked weed when I lived back home, so.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
what I'm
cigarettes
saying. I
from
didn't
cigars.
know.
It's recent.
Real recent?
Yeah.
I was always
It's
straight
legal.
edge.
It's legal to grow weed now, so I grow weed and I just
And then you smoke it.
It turns you into like some weird connoisseur.
Did you? Oh, so now you want to taste it because you can grow it?
Yeah, it just I get excited to taste what I grow.
Yeah.
I don't. That's really.
But has it turned you into an addict that like needs to do it
No,
like
I don't
every
do
night?
I'm an addict.
He's an addict.
It's just once in a while smoking a blunt is like taking a fucking acid trip for you.
No, because I eat enough edibles that a blunt wouldn't do anything.
Would you make your own edibles?
No, my friend does though.
Oh,
Edibles make me
what
sick.
kind of edibles do you eat?
Like gummies, like peach rings, Sour Patch Kids, Nerds. All those little
Yeah.
candies.
Chocolate?
No
Cookies?
chocolates.
What?
No chocolates.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You love edibles?
I used to, and then when I fell on my motorcycle and I was in the hospital, my friend bought me an edible, and I was like paranoid as fuck. Like I have not ate edible since, and I don't think I ever will again.
You just scarf down the whole thing?
Yeah, and I don't know if it was that plus the like morphine and shit that they were giving me through the IV.
Morphine.
Like, bro, I was fucking
Morphine probably
paranoid.
helps.
I was like, fuck, if something happens, I'm right here. Like,
You thought you were gonna die
Bro, I swear to God.
off the morphine?
I was tripping. Then the whole next day, the like nurses were talking to me and shit, and I was like literally falling asleep as they're talking to me. They're like, "Are you all right?" I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm just tired as fuck." Like, I'm cool, but I was for like 2 or 3 days, I was fucked up.
I've had
like,
terrible edible
I had a
experiences.
How
bad
many
trip.
milligrams did you eat? Do
It
you
was
even know?
it was a bang bar.
I don't.
It was a bang bar.
How many
Me and
are
Adam
those?
ate like
No,
a bunch of those when we went to
Oh
fucking
my
China.
God.
We slept for fucking 2 days
Yeah,
straight.
I was-
Legitimately
bro,
slept for 2
I
days
was
straight.
fucked
We took a ton of weed candy on the plane to China, and we just were sitting there just scarfing it all down for no reason. And then we fucking passed out the entire flight, get to the hotel room. Literally, we both just lay down and sleep for like 10
That
hours.
shit's crazy.
Something like the combination how fucked up we were for the edibles. But I mean,
I
I've
think it
had
was
that
like
happen.
14-hour flight we slept for, and I think it actually slept for like 18 hours in the hotel room.
Damn, faded.
18? Was it really that
Or
long?
maybe it was like 12 hours or something like that. It was like longer than normal.
Yeah, but I remember one time I flew to fucking England and like I landed and I took a Xan like when I got on the flight and then I landed and then I like got on the little like train to fucking like 20-minute like train ride to the city that I was going in England and I fucking fell asleep on the train ride and went way past my destination. Had to get off and turn back around and shit. Fucking that was one Xan. I'm glad I don't do that shit anymore. That shit had me sleeping so fucking hard.
Yep.
Actually, you want to know what was the worst? I remember the first time I ever fucked 2 girls at the same time on Snapchat was at Nora Cup in Vegas, and fucking me and these girls were like snorting crazy Xans and shit, and just
Snorting
fucking
Xans?
and I was putting tons of it on Snapchat, like the girls snorting it on Snapchat, and it was like everybody was talking about it. I'd never had people like talk about something like that. Look, Hess remembers. I remember after that too, that like all these rappers would be saying shit to me like, yo, I saw that shit, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you fucking follow my Snapchat? And they're like, well, I didn't, but like somebody told me about it, you know?
Yeah, that shit went viral as fuck.
But like people were just talking about it. It's rare for a Snapchat thing to go viral, but like everybody I knew was just talking to me about that shit.
I remember that.
And then I remember too that fucking Bizzle of all people just goes to me and Stevie. He goes, oh, do you guys want some Klonopins? And we're like, what is that? And he's like, oh, it's like Adderall. He gave it to us and we each fucking took 2 of them. I proceeded to sleep for like 24 hours. That was rough.
Fuck is wrong with that kid?
He
That
lied
is
to
not
you.
accurate.
He-
He misled me greatly. And I remember Stevie trying to ride in this fucking contest in Vegas and that he fucking couldn't even do a bar spin. It was the first time I ever seen him. He couldn't do a bar spin.
Because of the
What?
the
Klonopin would definitely do that.
Damn.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh my God, we've done some scummy things over the years. I'm telling you, a lot of drugs being one of them.
Yeah, definitely.
A whole lot of drugs. So, how many is the most Xans you ever been on?
Me?
Very
I took
important
2.
question.
That's
Just 2?
actually-
Okay, good.
Yeah, but it was like I just got to Vegas with Day Day, and I drank this big tall ass like slushy fucking liquor thing, and I don't drink liquor. And yeah, I was smoking blunts in casinos and shit. And, yeah, I slept for 2 days that day. We got there Friday, and I woke up like Sunday morning, Saturday night.
You can just smoke a blunt in the casino? What happens when you do
I
that?
can't. That's the thing. Daddy told me I was just like literally running in the casinos and just like smoking and shit. And like they were like,
Hey, you
trying
just
to
don't
get
give
me
a
out.
fuck. Yeah,
I don't remember.
You
I
remember?
popped one in the car and we almost got there. I popped one. I didn't feel it. So as soon as we parked at the casino, I popped another one and I got out of the car and I was like, fuck, I feel the first one. And then, yeah, I lost the
Fuck,
fat
I feel
one.
the first one. Shit.
Okay, here's the important question though. Was this the same time period that you were running around stealing motorcycles with no helmet?
Fuck, that's so funny because it was. Bro, I was in Vegas so fucking much. We were literally like,
I remember that.
we were fucking.
I remember you telling me
rolling
about
around
that.
with
I'm
no
like, bro,
helmets and shit.
it's illegal to ride a motorcycle with no helmet, and you're out here stealing motorcycles with no helmet.
Bro, we were stupid as fuck. One time we were like coming through this neighborhood and we hit this corner and Dede has his Iron Man mask on his head as if it was a helmet. And there's like 3 squad cars right there and all the cops are out of the car in a circle. Like they were like having like a group talk or something. And like me and Dede just hit the corner and we look at them and they just look at us and like they didn't say shit. They just I feel like they were kind of just like,
What the fuck?
yeah, like what the fuck?
Like what you're doing is so illegal. What the fuck is wrong with you?
We were both like, oh fuck, like what the fuck? They just all looked at us and just let us go. We were just like, they didn't even say nothing. Like they're probably in the middle of something pretty serious though, but just for the fact that we hit the corner and it was like probably like 10 cops in a circle and they just looked at us.
Do you
like,
look at a lot of stuff in your younger life and you're like, wow, like why didn't I go to jail for that?
Yeah, and I don't regret shit, honestly.
You don't
'cause
regret it?
Nothing.
Yeah, but you never did any like hard jail
Nothing
time.
crazy. Yeah, I've never done nothing like violent.
But you're
or,
so
know,
lucky.
like crazy.
You know?
Just
Like even just think about every single fight you ever got into in your whole life was like a potential assault charge that, you know, like I never got in trouble for any of the fights I ever got in. And if I had gotten in trouble for even a small percentage of them, I could have gone to jail for like serious amounts of time.
we've, like damn near almost killed people. Tom Villa will tell you. Tom Villa had this party where he moved from where he lived, where the Staples Center is. Remember Tom lived right
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
We went to that shit.
I remember.
Bro,
Yeah.
do you guys remember we fucked that dude up?
You did?
He ripped Mario Gorman's window out of his car.
I do
bro.
remember that.
Bro,
Yeah, I
was
remember that.
kicking his fucking bro.
I remember that.
Was trying to squish his fucking head on the ground, bro. Like we
Actually, I think
fucked
you've been
him
around
up,
for a
like,
couple fights we've been in, huh?
bad, bro. Yeah,
I was
hell
there for
yeah,
that one.
we
What
were-
else did you were around for?
Bro.
You were there when I beat up that kid that
I had a broken hand chasing him with my cast on. I couldn't even sock him, so I was just fucking kicking him like.
Wait, who was he around for when you got in
beat up
front?
that fucking random kid in front of the house, Tony Nyer.
Oh,
Remember?
Dan! Shout out
Dan, right? What was that kid's
Who's
name?
Dan?
Remember that BMX kid? What was his name?
He was tripping on Tony because it was Dan. Tony doesn't like him, and he came over there drunk, and he was just like, Tony, like, why don't you like me? Why don't you like me? And Tony was like, just get the fuck out of here. And Dan kept trying to talk about it, and they kind of started like, Tony's trying to push him and shit, and then Chris comes out of the house, fucking like rubbing his eyes, just woke up from a nap, and just starts running over there, tackles him, and just starts literally like, I didn't think Chris had it in him. I was like, me and Dede were like, what the.
Why did you just
Like,
Because he was
we
starting
were
with
like,
Tony. I
what
heard the fight. I, like
fuck?
literally, like, no, it was nice.
They
It
were
was the night we
screaming
filmed
and
that
shit,
music
like-
video inside the apartment.
Oh, God.
And we had that party.
It was crazy.
And
Oh,
like,
what? The Philly Swain video?
I think that's what
Oh,
it was.
okay.
Dan was there fucked up, and he was just like, Tony, why don't you like me? Why don't you like me?
I think I
And Tony
heard
just,
something like through my window and I was sleeping. I woke up and I heard they were fighting with Tony. I just
Yeah.
ran and tackled
It
the
was
kid,
cool
beat the
though. Like
fuck out
Tony
of him.
had it under control. He was completely like.
And then you just ran up and knocked him
Chris
out?
just
I
came
just
over
woke up
there.
because somebody said that Tony was getting in a fight. And I just did.
Bro.
I just
I was
It
like,
just
wow,
turned on.
Chris. Like after that day, I was like, damn, I'm not fucking with Chris. Like, oh, shit. Out of his sleep. Like
No,
he
but-
was like out of his sleep.
I was still in like my
literally,
underwear and a
like-
t-shirt.
Like literally.
What about
bro,
the
like-
time that Ozfest was driving her fucking car down the street and some fool, didn't you just knock some dude out in the middle of the street right in front of her?
Oh, in
Oh
front
yeah,
of-
she
in front
saw
of the
Lavelle
OSF's
just
house?
get in a random
Yeah, and they
fight.
told me to leave. I was fucking. We were pulling up to the house, and some dude like,
You and
Almost
you
hit
and
me.
Ozfest were in the car together.
wait,
Courtney.
we,
I forget what happened. But you got.
I'm pretty sure it's the time where the dude almost hit me. He like
Yeah.
came down. I was like coming to the house, and he like comes down the block and like jumps out of the car, man. I'm like, bro, you're old as fuck. Like, chill. And he literally comes at me, and he's swinging at me, and I'm kind of just dodging him, like waiting, and then I just sock him one time, boom, and he just falls, and then they're just like, go. Like I forget who was there, but they're like, go. Like, just go. I'm just like, bro, like, I didn't even do nothing. Like, this nigga just hopped out of the car. And like, what the fuck was I
didn't
supposed
even
to
do nothing except knock him unconscious.
Shit, like, you feel me? Like,
I didn't even do nothing except knock you out cold in the middle of the street. But hey, he came at you, so I mean, you know.
He came at me like he was old as fuck too, so I kind of felt bad. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I thought he was gonna like first 2 punches he was gonna stop, so I kind of just like, and then he just kept coming at me. Like, I think he might have almost got me, and I was like, all right, you feel me? Like, hit him one time, and he fell. He hit his head. He was bleeding. I was just like, fuck, bro. Like,
right. You got any other crazy memories of that whole era in Long Beach?
Too many.
We were so fucking ignorant, bro.
So ignorant.
Remember the fucking Mandalay Bay shit?
What?
When were you there? Was Alfredo and Stevie Churchill and shit? And those
Oh,
fucking
in
dudes?
Vegas. I wasn't there, but
that
you
was
knocked
probably the
somebody out.
craziest shit I ever got.
So
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
explain
I
what
wasn't
happened.
That
Didn't
was
some
the
guy say something to
craziest
that
shit
girl?
ever, bro? We had just got to the Mandalay Bay, and me and Stevie were like fucking 18 or 19 or something. So Alfredo was gonna try to get us into this club, and we're going to the bathroom, and some
More
Mexican
law
dude's
breaking.
like. Some Mexican dude's like fucking trying to get at Stevie's girl, but Stevie's like walking with his girl. You feel me? Like, and I was like, I told the dude like, "Yo, chill." You feel me? Like, well, what the fuck? Are you serious? Like, and he starts calling me a dick rider or something like that. So I was like, "You trying to fight or what?" Like, and we go in the bathroom and like I punch him and he didn't do.
You
shit.
went in the bathroom?
We were in the Mandalay Bay, so I wanted to really fuck him up. You feel me? So I'm like, let's go to the bathroom, bro. Like,
It's so insane to
like,
change the location of the fight.
I'm like, let's go. You feel me? We're about to fight.
I thought you just did it right there.
Nah, I was like, we walked to the bathroom and I socked him in the bathroom and he didn't do shit. So I left out and like as I'm trying to like leave the scene, like I'm walking, I look back and no one's behind me. I'm like, where the fuck are they at? And then I see like a group of people arguing with like Nate, Wes, and like everyone and Stevie and shit. And then like I started going back over there and like, bro, there's like 5 fucking fools right there. And like as soon as they see me, they all just came at me. And one of them socked Stevie and I like threw Stevie out of the way and just fucking started fighting. I was drunk as fuck though, so like
So you just knocked out a bunch more dudes in a row?
Every single one of them, bro. Like one of them fucking socked me from behind. I had a big ass bump on my head and shit.
Remember
Like,
that?
It was so crazy, bro. It was like I was literally just running in circles, just swinging on everyone. I was just swinging on motherfuckers. Like it was crazy. I was pretty impressed. I was like, I don't know how like they didn't fuck me up. I'm like,
That's a great feeling, right?
yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Just like
I got
excellent
kicked out-
performance.
I got kicked out of every single hotel on the strip. Like
Right.
and like when I went up there, they were like, they asked me, "You want to press charges?" And like I was just like, "Nah, can I just go home?" Like they're like, "Yeah."
Beautiful.
I mean, it was them versus me, so I kind of like was in favor. I'm like, "Yo, these fucking," they were trying to jump me. Like,
Well, Stevie's like a princess. You gotta
what was I
protect him,
supposed
right?
to do? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you know me. Like I was just.
You're very
you feel me,
defensive.
like, exactly. I defend my homies and shit. So you feel me?
What's your life like now?
It's cool. I'm just being a dad and just fucking living the race car life. It's just cars and dad life right now. You feel me? Like. That's about it. Just trying to live a normal life. You feel me?
What's your girl think about your lifestyle? Is she cool with like the stuff that you're getting into in terms of going to all these crazy races and shit?
No, because there's a lot of like thotty ass girls out there and shit. And they be following me on Instagram, and you know I drive pretty good when I'm out there, so I have a lot of people that fuck with me. You feel me? So she
You
like,
get
she's
pussy
cool
off
with
being
it,
good at
but-
driving? I didn't know that. That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's
You
crazy.
could.
It's crazy. It's
Right.
crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I don't even know about that.
it's
I drive very
crazy as fuck,
conservatively.
bro. No, it's like, it's crazy.
What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Just swapping links over here? Over here, Hakiming it up, just on their phones, airdropping each other stuff.
I'm sorry.
I'm over here talking about the fucking legacy of Lavelle in Long Beach. Davel.
Davel.
David.
Day Lavelle.
Day one Lavelle.
Day one Lavelle. That actually sounds hard. Hey, R.I.P. Gabe. I guess we should probably mention that.
RIP
Yeah,
to
we
a
haven't
real
even
ass
talked about
nigga,
that.
bro.
Yeah.
Or I haven't even gotten a chance to talk about that.
Honestly, it's like so many fucking people died the past year that it's just like,
Last year was like crazy as fuck.
right?
Fuck.
Yeah, I have actually a lot of wild Gabe stories.
Like what?
I feel like I spent a lot of time with him, and
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it.
We're talking about Gabe Brooks for the record.
R.I.P.
Look him up
Gabe
on
Brooks.
YouTube if you don't know. Gabe Brooks, rest in peace, a legend.
Yeah, we did actually. So I thought about that too. Like when you had to like go back and think about it. Like
Yeah.
we did spend a lot of time with him.
He stayed with me in Las Vegas. We stayed with each other for Interbike or whatever.
Right.
He was crazy. So we were just sitting there, like in one of the hotel casinos or whatever, and there's obviously, it's Vegas and there's hookers there. He's literally walking up to all the hookers like, "Yo, what's up, ho? What's up, ho? Like, how you doing, Trick?" Like, he's like, I'm like, "Yo, how do you ever talk to someone like that?" Like,
Well, him when he was
so
drunk, he just didn't
foreign.
give a fuck.
Did not give a fuck. But he's like the nicest dude ever, too, usually, too. So it's like.
And he socked that dude on the sidewalk. Some bro UFC, or he wanted to be a UFC fighter, was like coming down the sidewalk. He's like, "Nobody can knock me out. Like, whatever. Like, do you want to punch me in the face?" And Gabe was like, yeah, I do.
Right.
And he just wound up. I had the phone. The
He
video
knocked
on
him
my
out
phone.
clean?
Dude, the dude, he didn't knock him out, but that dude was stunned. he instantly got sober, and he was just like, he like didn't know what to do, and he like tried to shake Gabe's hand after it. I was like, dude, this is insane.
I remember Gabe we went to Vegas together with these two girls, and then we got insanely drunk, and then he started fucking one of them with a condom on and just fell asleep inside of her with a condom on.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
In Estonia.
Oh my god! Didn't he fuck like 10 girls in like 2 days in Estonia?
Oh, I don't know about that, but he fucked up a Russian kid bad.
Why?
Because it was the first night, actually, and it was the first time I've ever been to Estonia. I actually have the video on my phone. Gabe was just wilding out. I wasn't even drinking because like the whole club scene wasn't like my thing.
It's intense out there.
It's crazy. And he just grabs me and he's like, "What do you drink?" I'm like, I don't drink." And he was like, "Cool, Jaeger Red Bull." So we go to the bar. I just load up on Jaeger Red Bulls all night. And then we're outside in the alley, and I was with Stevie. I was staying with Stevie out there, and I was like babysitting him because he's wild. And some Russian kid goes up to Stevie and wants his cigarettes. Stevie was really nice. He was like, "Nah, man, like I only got one or whatever." And the kid, must have spit in his face or like grabbed the cigarette and flicked it or whatever. And Gabe like walks out like just happy as fuck, and it kind of got weird or whatever, but Stevie didn't really know what to do because he's non-confrontational. And I was like, "Yo, Gabe, that dude just like actually like spit in Stevie's face." I don't even know if he spit, but Gabe was like, yeah, don't worry. He got like all serious, like instantly got serious.
Like, what?
And then the kid is just like up against a brick wall, like with a group of people, and Gabe is just doing this, and he's just like sharking around, and he somehow slides right in, right next to the kid, and like as soon as that happens, what's that kid from on BSD, Donnie Soldier? Dan Paley.
Dan Paley, yeah.
That dude's a man too, by the way. So Dan Paley kind of realized what's going on. I think someone might have said something to him. Dan Paley instantly tries to fight the kid, and he's reaching over people, and all this chaos is happening, and Gabe just elbows him as hard as he possibly could, and the kid's head just smashed off the wall, instantly knocked out, blood everywhere.
Damn.
And everyone's freaking out. All these Europeans are freaking out, like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?" And people were just screaming America, and we were just running away. Like, America!
Most ignorant group of people
Yeah, I
ever.
know, right? Like, what the fuck? Stereotypical assholes.
Oh my god,
That's some
But
shit
that
I
was
would
Gabe.
do.
dude!
Yeah,
I
that was
remember.
Gabe. He told us. He remember when we found out he was certified, when he told us that fucking crazy story about fucking just running down the street, fucking
Yes.
shooting people.
That's what I'm saying.
And he's like, "You don't believe me?" Called up a homie. He's like, "Yo, tell him the story."
No, he
And-
goes like he goes tell him about the Crenshaw massacre or some
Yeah,
shit. Like
whatever it was
he had
called.
like a specific name for a shootout that he got in that like everyone knew about and shit like that. I mean, like everybody knew him as One Punch. And you know what's really crazy too is that a lot of these rappers that I fucking interview or that I hang out with and stuff is like I low key realize later because they're like Crips of roughly the age that Gabe was, like from roughly the same area, so they fucking know him, like went to high school with him or some
I
shit
know,
like
I
that.
actually met a couple of kids. I forget who they're here with, but knew Gabe, and they're telling me
Everyone.
stories
Yeah.
of Gabe out here.
That's pretty
Everyone
crazy.
knows Gabe.
Right.
Like, he had hella street credit. Like,
Yeah.
What kind
Hella,
of like clash is that too? If you think about it, like someone like hanging out with me and coming from his background, that's such
Right.
like a
Somebody that knows you or that knew you and also knew all these fucking crazy ass Crip rapper dudes or
Yeah.
whatever. Like there's been so few people like from his world that have actually made it in BMX.
like
Like
bridge the gap too, like
because
really well.
BMX normally the thing about it is it kind of costs a lot of money, so you really don't see that many kids in the hood getting super good at it. Because once you start getting super good, you start destroying bikes. It's hard to get sponsored, so that's why typically. Most of the time, when you see kids who are pro or whatever, they come from like pretty good backgrounds and
Yeah.
shit.
Plus, I feel like it kind of sucks like they might see it as a way out, because I feel like in that space that they're in, they're always trying to look for a way out.
Like with Gabe, he went so hard, put in so much work for a few years, put out some of the craziest video parts, but then like I don't even think he was getting paid. Like
that's the unfortunate part.
Yeah.
He deserved it more than anyone too. I feel like
yeah,
he literally killed it. He killed it for so long.
And it's weird too though, because somebody like Gabe, like a lot of companies in BMX are scared of somebody like him, and I can't even say I necessarily blame him, because it's just you're biting off a lot when you get somebody that volatile on your team, even though as crazy as he was, like he fucking killed it riding wise, but like, it was just like a lot to handle. And I mean, I'm not gonna say he was bipolar, but he might have been something like,
I've never seen him. The only time I ever saw him pop off was like in the store.
Yeah, I've seen him get mad and angry and kind of.
He was
spent a lot of time with
bipolar.
him,
Might be an exaggeration, but he like would just go through mood swings that were just like pretty crazy.
It's just like all of us, so like we spent enough time with him that we
and
saw
listen,
that shit.
I don't know what the fuck he was doing like later in his life after he was kind of done riding and stuff, but I mean, he got shot in front of his grandma's head in the middle of the night. Like,
House.
What the fuck? Oh yeah, sorry. What did I say?
Head.
In front of his grandma's head?
Yeah.
God damn it. That was really bad time to slip up like that. Shot in front of his grandma's house in the head in the middle of the night. Like, what the fuck was he doing?
Do
that
you
somebody
have any sort of like inkling of what happened?
I was
after
asking
riding?
around and stuff, but I didn't even really like try hard enough to like really find out like what kind of
Did
beef
he
was
just
in or
go
whatever.
back to the world that he came from?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it had something to do with
did.
that, and I've talked to people here that have said things that it's like it was just bullshit.
Just back in the
bullshit.
old
Just
world,
bullshit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. People, somebody beats up somebody beats up somebody else.
There's like probably someone he knew.
The first day I met him was when I came out here. Do you remember in Mastroni's video part for you, he did that rail ride to Gap rail ride?
That's the first time I met him too.
That's
yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember
He was
that.
there, and we went to the skate park, and there was kids like scheming on us or something weird.
Yeah, remember we gotta get the dude to smoke meth on camera that
The
day
dude,
for us.
didn't he have like Nazi tattoos or something?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of-
Skinhead.
But then Gabe came up and was like, "Yo, these dudes are cool." Like,
Yeah,
chill the
He
fuck
shut
out.
it down. What skate
Yeah.
park was that?
That was,
It was right near his
Bellflower.
house.
Bellflower,
Right by
yeah.
the 605 ditch.
Right.
That was the first time I ever met him. And he was just sitting there
was the
like
first time I met
quiet,
him,
and he was
too.
wearing Chucks.
Did you
and stuff
actually
like that.
film that kid smoking meth?
No, I
No,
don't
he
think
didn't
that
do
ever
it. I
happened.
think something happened.
It started getting wicked sketchy.
Yeah.
It was like the park was getting real sketchy.
It was definitely sketchy that day. That was like the ultimate in like Southern California, like tweaker meth culture, like that skate park at that moment.
And I'd never experienced anything like that. So.
No, yeah, it's still kind of foreign to me. Even now, when I think about going to the skate park, I'm kind of like, damn, like skate park is sketchy as fuck. There's like no security there and shit. Like, 'cause from my perspective, it's kind of like I'm trying to avoid situations where something crazy could
Do
happen.
you feel like that now? Do you feel? Because I really haven't talked to you or seen you much since like all this started popping off. Do you feel like almost like not targeted? Like I don't like credit like clout someone coming after you. Like, do you feel like you have moved up?
Yeah.
Like in that sense,
I
like,
mean,
do you feel uncomfortable?
I don't move around
You do?
super carefully, but yeah, I definitely, feel like I need to be careful about like where I go or how I move and stuff, just because it's like, I haven't really taken an L yet in that regard, and it's
Yeah.
like I'm not trying to, and it's just
But now that's like a reality, because that was never a reality before. Like,
No.
you
We
could do
could
whatever.
just do whatever we want. We could sit in the middle of anywhere and not be noticed by anyone.
But
Yeah.
even me
Smoking
and him,
weed
we
riding
were
our
in
bikes.
fucking Atlanta just walking around in fucking flip flops, like just not acting like a care in the world. Like we just were acting like nothing could happen. When in like, some random dude in Atlanta running up on me, it's like that could happen. Like
I feel
you
like
know,
Atlanta is a place where that would happen too.
because the thing in LA that would make it less likely to happen is the fact that I'm just with a lot of people. Like a lot of people know me. I'm with a lot of my friends. Like it's just in Atlanta,
element.
or in some random places where it could definitely kind of happen and shit. Like that's what always happens to rappers on tour. They go to some random fucking town and there's some guy in Dallas that's scheming on them or some shit, and they.
Haters everywhere.
Yeah, I mean it's stuff like a concern. I just try to be careful and stuff at this point, but
It's not like, and if he goes out around here, it's one thing, because everybody around here is gonna know him.
Yeah.
But or if we go to a show, you know what I mean? We walk out on a show, he's getting mobbed.
Yeah.
It's crazy, But you go out in New Hampshire, for a walk, I think you're all right.
in New Hampshire, yeah, I feel definitely safe in New Hampshire. That's a fact. But if you're like NBA YoungBoy or you're like 21 Savage, it's kind of like there's definitely you know, just, well, I mean, I guess I would be concerned about going to most of like the same places that they would be concerned about going, because it's the same type of people that would give a fuck about them, you know? Like, I don't know, like I feel like even out here, like I'll go to fucking Beverly Hills and go out shopping with my girl, no problem. But I don't know if I would want to go shopping in like Compton necessarily.
Well, But
why would I want to do that anyway?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
I moved up in the world so that I don't have to go to Compton. Like I don't know what I would be doing in
Ain't
Compton.
going that way, bro.
No, we went to Slauson Swap Meet the other day. But I mean, who knows? We saw Dex in the parking lot. That was weird.
It's random.
I don't know.
I went the other day by myself.
But I'm not going to pussy out of most stuff, like going somewhere or whatever. Because, I mean, you think about a lot of the stuff we do, like walking around at fucking, in the crowd at shows and stuff. We do that all the time, and like fucking at festivals and stuff, and just act like it's no big deal. Yeah. Even if there's like a lot of people coming up to you, it's like, it's never like negative.
It's never,
it's never negative, yeah. But there's it's just like overwhelming of people. There's just usually the most of it. You know?
Yeah, the overwhelmingness of it is definitely the part that could be kind of crazy. Like out here, if I were to stand out in front for an hour, it just starts popping off because people just start driving by, start see us hanging out. They just start pulling up, like to take photos, and a huge crowd will form, and then I'll just have to be out and like sit back here for a half hour, and then I go out front again, and there's like not any people there anymore.
That's crazy. That's wild.
It's definitely a thing, but well, what can you do? I got Chris along with me, you know, in case anybody's trying to mess with me.
Yeah, and Bill sometimes.
And Lavelle, the fucking monster. Anyway, what else should we talk about? What's going on in the world that we need to discuss? I thought this would be an interesting episode because it's sort of like just like a weird like hanging plot line in BMX history or our history, because you know random that used to always be like, what happened to Matty Long?
Ask me
Where's Matty
questions.
Long?
Now I'm a little bit more comfortable, so now you can ask me questions.
Okay. Well, yeah. Now, so you left BMX and you know you hated it, and that's about it.
Yeah. So why did you leave BMX? How about that?
I mean, it's the obvious reason. It was just money. It was getting really hard.
Yeah.
I lived with my mom. I wanted to move out. I couldn't really do that. And I just wanted more money. I lost a lot of motivation too, because I feel like I wasn't at that crazy tier that I was talking about earlier, like Nathan Williams and all that stuff, but I wanted to be part of it. I wanted to be in contests, and I just feel like it would never happen. And a lot of things too, like I'm not gonna sit here and trash anyone, but like I feel like when I got my signature frame, that's like when my whole drive just hit a wall. I got the signature frame that wasn't even the right size. It was nothing. It was just nothing. It was just like someone picking it. Yeah, someone picking a frame out of a catalog saying, "Hey, that's yours."
Yeah. Hey, let's do this. I don't want to do that, but no, we're gonna do this anyway. Yeah. You know what I mean?
With a lot of BMX sponsors, it's kind of like that. It's like your career as a BMX rider will only be as long as you're willing to put up with a bunch of stupid bullshit from a sponsor who's not going to pay you shit and is probably not really going to take your input on parts and stuff, unless you're in that crazy top tier of rider, like you're saying, that can sort of like actually have some leverage with the brand that they ride for.
Like swing their weight around. Lo and behold, I started looking at frames recently, and they were all like the geometry that I wanted to begin with. Like I feel like I was kind of ahead of the curve, like as far as like what people would want at the time. I've always rode like really small bikes.
Yeah, you rode a little dork bike like everybody kind of rides now.
Yeah, everyone does now.
It's weird, like when you look at where BMX riding has gone, because it's like it's gotten so much more technical. Like people used to always say like, oh, BMX is going to become flatland, but I feel like a lot of the front wheel stuff, the hang fives and all that shit has not necessarily become huge, but now it's like the backwards manuals and also like the tire bonks and the peg bonks and stuff. Like stuff that was like too nerdy to really be popular like 10 years ago is now like consistently like happening.
Like all that Devin Smiley stuff. Like
I mean, I feel like he's like the number one person in terms of all that backwards manual shit.
Dancing on his tires, it seems like it's crazy.
But then again, they're saying the same thing. Like you were doing a lot of that shit too back then. Yeah, you know, you were.
I just felt slighted a lot in the whole the Brock Rayford thing. Yeah. Really,
what happened?
That was the end of it for me.
What, they put Brock Rayford on pro and gave him a bunch of money?
More money than me and Stevie. That's why we got together and left and went to Federal. But it just sucks too because Federal did so much for me. I feel like, but I just kind of just threw it away.
Yeah, remember
Which is
when that? So basically, Chris Long got fired as team manager of Volume Bikes, and then he staged a mutiny with two of their more popular riders, and got both of the riders to quit and join another company. Basically, not for his own gain, really, in any way, just sort of to get revenge on the company that fired
Fuck
him.
with me. Fuck you, Castillo. No, but I
Think
mean,
about the horror that Castillo's gonna have seeing this.
yeah, fuck him. But I mean, whatever. I'm over it at this point. I don't hate him or anything like that. But it's just
He
like
did a lot for me, and I do
He
feel
did
bad
do a lot
'cause I
for
was
both of
definitely
us.
at one point a little fucking brat, like for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I always liked Brian. He probably don't give a
he's a
fuck
good
about
dude.
me, but I liked him.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure he feels the same way. But he was,
But
He was a
it's
good dude.
like my whole fight then was, I want these guys to make more money. These guys should be real pros. They shouldn't be making $200 and $400 a month. You know what I mean? And like,
I put in so much work too. Like,
Yeah, like,
I don't
we're-
like to
like-
pat myself on the back, but I
at
feel
the-
like I
at
put
the
in
time,
so much fucking work.
We
for that
went
company.
really hard at the beginning, and it just wasn't panning out. And then he just went. He's like, "Well, I'm going to put him on." I'm like, "Yeah, great. That's a great choice." I'm supposed to be the team manager at the time, but you're just going to go ahead and just do this thing with, it doesn't matter what I say at all. And then I'm like, I think it's a good choice to put him on, but I didn't think it was a great choice to neglect the rest of the team that was really unhappy at the time. So, and then.
That
I
happened. and I
mean,
was just-
at the
I
end of the
was
day,
out.
too, Matty's my brother and Stevie's my friend. I don't want to see my friends just get fucked over. You know what I mean? Like,
But you think that them giving a bunch of money to somebody like Brock was fucking them over, or do you think that was just him sort of playing the game the way he had to play it? Where like, oh, okay, because Brock Raper was going to get like that amount of money from some other sponsor if he didn't get it from Volume, more or less.
I don't think he was ready to get that amount of money
No,
yet.
he wasn't even
He wasn't
this
getting
is
anything.
what I heard. And no, I don't want this to
But
seem like I'm
Castillo would have
rational
never
Brock, 'cause
gave
Brock-
him that
no,
money
Brock is a
unless
super good dude.
unless there was competition in the market to raise his price to that point.
From the business aspect, Castillo made the right move because Brock was young and he's hot, right?
You're right.
That's like the smart
And-
business move to do.
Pause.
And Stevie
Pause, right.
is,
Stevie
kind
was
of a-
Stevie at that
But
time,
at that
especially.
time, Stevie was still in his.
No, Stevie was that's
like,
the thing. Stevie
crushing
was
it.
killing it.
was
And
fucking
if that was the thing, Brock was his thing, and that's what he wanted, then it shouldn't have been a problem that I, got Stevie and Matty better compensation for what they're doing. If
Yeah.
if that's his new golden child, then let these guys eat.
But
You
we
know?
heard he wasn't making. This is just what I heard at the time, and I think that also contributed to like how I felt was that he wasn't making money on Colony. He wasn't making money, but he was lying, saying he was. Not that I don't know, whatever. That's just what I heard.
Here
but,
we are pushing ourselves back into the BMX gossip world.
But that's just what I felt or heard at the time, and it's all irrelevant now. It doesn't matter now. But
Right.
I
No,
was-
yeah, it doesn't matter.
I heard,
and,
so I was
and it's
just-
nothing.
it's-
And it was nothing. And that's the hard thing because I like Brock, and there was nothing disrespect ever towards him because it was.
a young kid coming up.
No, I mean it was a good decision, but the conflict was between, this is supposed to be my job, but you're micromanaging and not letting me actually do my job, and then obviously
I also don't feel like you really liked doing your job because like you just didn't seem comfortable like going out and having to try to film clips at schools every day with fucking Juicy and Lil D and shit.
Yeah, I mean
That
I was
wasn't really
really
for
into
you.
it for a long time. I was really like all 100%, but then after a while, the thing with it's just Castillo we just weren't getting along,
Yeah.
and then I was just like I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? Like I just stopped caring because why the fuck am I gonna care for something that like you know what I mean? Like I don't know, I was just a fucking over it.
Well, you look at the fact that like Mastroni was able to like be that team manager for years and years. It's like he basically was just able to get along with him for that period
Yeah,
of time,
yeah.
regardless of how much he had to compromise and shit.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like me and Castillo at the end of the day just didn't see things eye to eye. We saw things differently, and that's just is what it is.
Well, the Mastroni era of Volume Bikes just ended, by the way, and now it's
Yeah.
the Josh Clemens era.
Oh, he's the new one. I didn't know
I
that
think.
too.
Well, I'm not sure he's a team manager, but I know he's like filmer and stuff. I think he might be team manager, which is funny because Josh Clemens was like Mastroni's sort of protege at a certain point,
Yeah.
sort of like bringing him on the team. But I guess he sort of figured things out along the way too.
That's what happens.
But that the kind of main question though with BMX is like, what, like, should a company be able to be or be expected to give to their team because of the fact that we all know that BMX money sucks. Like when you're making like, a tiny little profit on frames and stuff, it's kind of like yeah, I think it would be amazing if BMX brands had like a standard of like paying like a pro rider gets $1,000 a month, like that's the minimum or something.
Yeah.
But we were never able to sort of get to that. And when you think about it, it's like, okay, say they have 6 pros and they're each getting $6,000 a month. $6,000 starts to sound like a lot to most BMX brands for like a team budget, and that's before sponsorship or travel and all that stuff.
I mean, my thing was try to condense it better and have more of a tier thing going on. Have more of a like, these are the pros that are making this much money. This is the less of a tier making just get dudes coming in making a small check, and these are dudes that are making nothing. You know what I mean? Like it just even it out better. And don't just pay 10 dudes $200 a month. You know what I mean? Like you don't need 10 dudes at that point. Why don't you find 4 really good dudes? And
you know what? From my perspective on the outside looking in, it's like during like the heyday of the come up and stuff, and like it started in 2006, but I felt like maybe through like 2011, 12 or whatever was when like shit was actually like good. Like there was just a ton of fucking content coming out. Yeah. Companies were doing a lot of video content. Fucking, you had like Ride and Vital and Dig and the Come Up and like, everybody's sort of like fighting to do stuff online. You had like random companies popping up. You had all these kids making, actual like DVDs and stuff. There was so much shit coming out. And nowadays when you actually look at like the Nora Cup type thing and stuff, it's like you're so lucky if there's a couple of full-length DVDs to come out at the end of the year to even fill the nominations.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's like so much less stuff. I'll go to look at the come up and the front page is like 3 or 4 fucking days worth of videos because there's only a couple things at most that come out per day, which is, it used to be like, God, the come up post fucking 20 things a day.
Too much.
There would never be 20 things a day anymore.
Get lost on the come up.
Oh, people, that was always the number one complaint. Is like, oh, it moves so fast.
You gotta sticky
my
it.
stuff is off the front. Sticky it. Oh my God. It's so funny that's still a real thing, but I'm so like detached from the come up as a website that it's like I can't even imagine what it would be like to have to like be waking up and fucking downloading Facebook clips and reposting them and shit like that. All the stuff I used to do every day. Feels kind of like a dark existence in retrospect.
Yeah.
I was basically like a social media intern for myself.
You couldn't do anything every day until Adam posted. We had to sit there and wait for a fucking hour while he sit there and thought of these fucking captions and descriptions.
Yo, but the come up, that was definitely true that I had to sit there and fucking just post every morning for hours and hours, like hungover. Wouldn't be able to go out riding until I was done. But I would have to like wake up and just race to get shit posted while also like making eggs so that like
eggs and oatmeal.
So I could get stuff out before so we could actually like go riding and stuff like that. Yeah, but
Every day.
yeah, but you know what? I had the same problem then that I'm just now beginning to get over, which is I was like really bad at like finding people and like being able to like hand over like jobs to people. I've always been shit at that. I've always like almost only like hired my friends and like people that I actually like knew. And that is just really, really bad if you're trying to like grow a business and actually like control your own free time.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Chris Long helping me out. No, I've just gotten way better with it too. I think getting Jason as the store manager has just been like gigantic. I think that's going to change everything in terms of how the shit goes, I guess.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a good choice in my opinion. So.
Yeah.
He's smart. He's got his shit together, it seems like.
True. He's
got a good eye for aesthetics too. So
he's working on the store right now. Yeah, and he actually gives a fuck about retail. Like he cares about the details of retail. No intended rhyme there. The details of retail with she-males.
Look at me. I'm a rapper now.
Oh, yeah. I am a rapper now.
He's a craft beer connoisseur now.
Is he literally?
Yeah, I went on his Instagram.
That's amazing.
And it's just all craft beer.
Oh, wow. Is that the thing?
I just would never expect that from Rory, of all people.
No.
Yeah.
And he got married too, right?
Yeah, he just got married.
Wow. He hates you, Chris, huh?
Yeah.
I rode with him a couple of years ago, maybe a year or two ago.
I'm glad he hates me over you and Catfish. And that was it. How come I'm the only one that got hated out of that deal?
I don't know. You guys pick who to hate, I guess, at a certain point. You think they're going to be talking about this at Hadley?
Yeah.
Shout out Hadley, bro. Hadley has mad new stuff there now, and it's fucking lit. And if I still was able to like ride BMX without my back fucking exploding, I would probably do it. I would go to Hadley and catch a session. Sure. Nah, my whole family's moving out here, so I like have no reason to go back to New England ever again.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm trying to get my mom to move out here.
Yeah, and he's trying to get my mom to get out.
You got to do the gold rush. You got to. People move west.
I was so pissed at you last time because you didn't hang out with me and you went to the Pheasant Lane Mall to like hang out with little kids or
That's his
whatever.
thing.
No, I did meet and greet. Hang out with little kids. I did meet and greet. I don't know who's gonna
Doesn't
show
hang out
up.
with his friends, goes and hangs out with a bunch of random little kids.
Me and Lena went to the mall. I should have told you to come to the mall. I was only in there for 5 minutes, and the cops kicked me out.
Really?
Yeah, because there were too many people.
I think the last time I even went to that mall, I was picking Matty up from stealing. From
Oh my god,
fucking
I got
Macy's.
arrested from stealing in
Where?
Nashua. And at the Pheasant Lane Mall.
Which store?
Macy's.
What were you taking?
Sunglasses.
Well, how the fuck do you, what?
I was young.
And you want to hear the story
Yeah.
too? I had to go get him, right? Because I don't know, was mom on?
Mom was away.
Yeah, it's like the most random shit too. And I have, you know how I get fucking migraines so bad where I like can't fucking function at all? I had to go there with a fucking migraine. And I walk in like wherever the fuck I was like, like drooling on myself, like my face, I was like dying. And they're just like looking at me like, all right, so who's this drug addict picking this kid up right now?
Pheasant Lane Mall. It's the first and only time I've ever been arrested.
Fuck.
Amazing. Yo, because you know what? I got arrested for shoplifting there when I was 13.
That's probably how old I was.
I was at, I went to Leechmere, RIP.
yeah, I remember
The year was 1997, and I was shoplifting, I believe it was White Zombie and Nine Inch Nails CDs. And then we left there, and then we went to fucking Hot Topic, and I think we stole some like t-shirts and some candles and shit. I'm like 13. I don't even know, I don't know how the cameras in the sky work. I don't know what the metal detectors do. Like when I think about that, I'm like, I can't believe I was even allowed to like get caught in this way because I was so stupid. I didn't even know what I was
so
doing.
blatant. I was literally just like grabbed them and like just
Yeah.
I had a bunch and I was just putting them in my pocket because I just thought if you couldn't visually see me that I was good.
Yeah,
If you're
man.
gonna do it that way, you just gotta run. You just gotta grab it, go. I saw a PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 came out. That's how I stole it.
Really?
Yeah, my friend worked at Circuit City, and then he was like, "Yo, they're in the back shelf, blah blah blah. Go through the back door." Parked his car around the corner, away from the cameras. He's like, "I'll just be right here."
Right.
I'm like, "Awesome." I just walked in, looked around for a minute when they're like about to close, and I just grabbed one off the shelf and I just ran. I ran towards the back counter. I slid it across the counter in case it had like that metal thing on it or whatever. Then I just grabbed it and like held it over my head like this. And just ran out the door with it. And I just ran to his car and just got in and left. That was
So that's like a real hardcore New England crime to like get something that costs like $300.
yeah, I just steal it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a PlayStation 2.
Being a klepto was like hard when you were in school. Like when I was in high school, it was like cool to steal.
Oh hell yeah! Because
Wasn't
there's
it,
not
like,
that many
cool?
crimes available to you at that point. It's like you don't even know people who do drugs. It's hard to be a drug dealer. You're so young. Nowadays, kids know what fucking Percocets and Xans are and shit when they're 14 from music. They got
For
Future
real.
teaching them.
Oh God, everybody.
And then we just steal fucking laptops.
Now everyone just sells weed. That's literally what everyone
No,
does
it
back
sells weed.
home.
Yeah,
Everyone
but the
just sells
weed business is just going to keep getting more and more consolidated to the top, to the point where it does not seem like a reasonable career. I feel like at a certain point.
You
I
gotta do
feel
your
like
bit and get out,
I feel
me.
like always trapping though. That's always going to be trapping.
There will always be some level of like down low weed, yeah. But I mean,
It's like the weeds just become like the dispensaries just become like the mainstream thing, but like real smokers are probably just gonna just keep buying it off their fucking homies and shit like that.
yeah.
You know,
The question is if
nobody's gonna pay dispensary prices.
Will
Yeah,
it
you'll just
become
undercut
so?
dispensaries.
Will it become so corporate that somehow like the weed like grow ops and shit are like shut down or like
Oh, yeah,
illegal
yeah.
like weed farms
They've
like
already
up
started
north and
task
stuff?
force in like California for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's gonna get so corporate that it's gonna be hard to like grow weed and then
they're trying
on the
to,
streets,
they're
you know.
trying to like trademark seeds already.
Oof.
Monsanto. Or
Crazy
whatever.
shit's
Yeah.
gonna happen, dude. I'm a
Wild.
fucking conspiracy theorist about this shit because however it unfolds, it's gonna be depressing. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
for sure.
terrible.
It's
Probably
not
gonna
gonna
have to
be-
start going to pharmacies and shit like to get weed. I thought about that one time. Like,
$20 a gram. It's gonna be
like,
back with a
scripts and
vengeance.
shit. Like doctors are probably gonna have to start like filling scripts for weed and shit.
Oh
If
my-
they do,
that would
imagine,
be fucked
that'd be
up.
crazy.
I mean, but then at the end of the day, it's still going to kind of be like what it's like now, where it's like somebody's going to have a grow up and they're going to sell fucking, because if the price actually gets driven up by the market being so strict and it's so hard to get illegal weed, that's just going to give people way more of an incentive to set up fucking crazy ass grow ups and shit. And just the game will always change. You know, it's like if weed becomes expensive, then people will find a way to fight back against it, you know?
Well, they were doing like, aren't they doing like the $7 grams in Oregon?
Really?
Yeah, they're like trying
Oh,
to
well-
drop it so low to like fizzle out the black market. But like price wise, that's obviously not good weed. It's obviously
Yeah,
like
it's
outdoor or greenhouse weed. It's not like indoor weed, so I don't really understand the.
I don't know.
I haven't had to pay for weed in years now. It's fucking bad. I bought an ounce as like a joke recently, just because like we needed one in a pinch, and it felt funny because it's like so easy for me to get free weed out here that it's like.
I know, because we were in Atlanta and the weed sucked too, right?
Yeah. When I buy weed when I go to Atlanta because it's just like whatever. Like
it was like we bought weed twice in Atlanta. I brought a bunch of weed.
Oh,
with
the
us.
first time was boof, and then the second time was tight.
Like I brought weed with us, so we were like, okay, so I just kind of like sparingly used that. But we bought weed when we got there, and it just fucking was trash. So I had to like mix it with the. Well, I mixed it.
It said sparingly we used that. Like we weren't smoking 10 blunts a night in the studio.
Yeah, but I was mixing all the like good weed and bad weed, like being like very specific about it. That's why I'd sit there for like an hour and a half, roll fucking 6 blunts.
Shoreline Mafia decided that they really liked Chris while we were in Atlanta because he had so much foreign woods and fucking weed and stuff that they were just kind of like, "Hey, Chris, you got vanilla wood?" Like just like he fully like made friends with them because you know a lot of times if you're filming, you're just kind of the filmer, but he like officially transcended that into like, "Hey, Chris, you got vanilla wood?"
You don't smoke Dutch anymore?
No, I don't. I became
fast.
a rapper when I started fucking hanging out here.
LA, backwoods.
I still get them. I still order them offline, and I just smoke them once in a while. I do still smoke Dutches once in a while.
Yeah, that was like that's all I know you as.
Yeah,
Just smoking Dutches.
For real.
He smokes meth too, honestly.
Yeah, lots of meth.
I've seen people freaking out because I said in an interview that I'd smoked meth before. Not that I smoked meth, but that I had done, speed before.
No,
I only did it once.
you're a junkie.
That was a rough couple days, though.
Damn.
Yeah, that was a rough fucking...
Last weekend.
No. It was back in the day, Chris Long. Chris Long used to just fucking drink Four Loko every night and just go out in Boston just getting fights every night.
Yeah.
Truth. That is actually a
his
true
brass
story.
knuckles.
They
Piece of
actually beat
shit
up
with
a
brass
firefighter.
knuckles on, yeah.
Yeah, we beat up a firefighter.
When you think about that, it's like, how did you not go to jail? Just,
I don't know. That's the craziest thing is how did we not go to jail when we're blackout drunk on Four Loko like that? Like
stealing people's computers and
stealing
shit.
laptops and fighting anyone that just would look at us the wrong way. It was just like we're the most ignorant.
Nick was peeing on people.
Yeah, like
Pick
doing the most
peeing on
ignorant
people.
shit. The most ignorant shit. My friend just pissing on people for no reason, like walking up to them and pissing on them.
It's just like,
How are you not dead?
I hope that, say I were to have a son, I hope that he wouldn't feel the need to like take out his aggression and like learn how the world works in such a terrible way as I did, of just sort of like piecing together how the world works by doing like these heinous things and just
Maddie
getting all
watched
these
me-
fights and shit.
Maddie watched me steal a laptop one time, the one from MIT.
Oh my god, you were
wanna
there
hear-
for that? Yeah, let's hear
That's
it.
one of the most epic things I've ever seen.
Because
in my
if
entire life.
Chris Long told this story himself, he would sound like such a fucking asshole. It's better of you to tell
So
it.
okay, so you know that ledge in Cambridge, the really long angle iron ledge.
I hope that the dude who you stole this laptop from is
I hope he's
listening.
watching this.
Damn, he's gonna come for you. bro.
sorry.
I just
I
can't-
needed that. No money at the time.
If you're watching this on a laptop, just know that Chris Long might have taken it.
So
Someone
where
stole my computer, so I had to steal one.
that makes sense. So we're riding that ankle iron ledge, and it's in Cambridge near MIT, and there was a garage bay open garage bay in an alley, but pretty low key spot, not like a sketchy area, and there was just a laptop close to the entrance, and that was probably like 5 feet in. But then within like another 35 feet, the dude is just like machining some shit. He's working in the garage, and Chris is like, I'm gonna steal this. I'm gonna steal that laptop. And everyone is just like, everyone just immediately starts riding down the street. Like we're like, no, don't want anything to do with this. So, dude, you almost got it too. You almost got fucking snuffed.
Yeah, I did.
So. He's doing a couple test runs. I'm like, obviously, it's my
Test
brother.
runs. I like that you have enough time to do test runs.
No, he said, didn't you set up your bike?
I
He had
set
his
my bike up on the
set
ledge,
up
my pedals set up so I can run
and
and jump on it.
jump on his bike
my
and just
God.
get away quick.
That's pretty
so
fire.
he has his bike set up, and he's doing like test runs and like kind of feeling it out and like watching the guy, kind of making some noise,
You
trying to like
piece
get
of
the guy's
shit.
attention. No, he's not turning around, and I'm just watching the whole thing, and I'm just like, dude, this is not good. This is not a good idea.
If he started running as you got it, would he have got you?
He almost got him. He literally almost got it.
Wow, just
He,
barely
like,
avoided it.
He had and he's
He's
throwing
throwing
wrenches
wrenches
at
at
him, like
the
tools.
fuck?
He grabbed tools and was just throwing tools down the street. He almost fell off his bike because he's trying to pedal as hard as he can, holding a laptop in his arm. I was like, dude, this is insane.
And you got it.
He snuck in. You snuck in. I can't believe he's not
Stuck
quick.
in. I'm not fat and slow.
It's crazy to think that this guy was machining something, and then you took the computer. So then, whatever he was machining, like it was just going to be half machine until he got another. He probably have to start
MIT
over.
computer too. There was like all shit, all like.
Was this person of Asian descent?
Yes, yeah, he was. He was 100%.
I have no idea.
100%.
Well, at MIT, it's a pretty safe bet. I just wanted to check.
Dude, and you got away somehow. I saw you wobble, but then there was instantly cops.
Oh,
The cops
shit
are
ton of
on it
cops.
so
I
fast.
threw it. I threw the laptop.
He hit
in a
the
bush.
laptop. Yeah, that's right. And
And
he
then
sent other people to go
So
fucking
And they
Look
couldn't
look
find
for
it, so I had to go back. We had to ride across the city to a car, get the car, go back without bikes because the cops were looking for kids on bikes.
Kids on bikes.
Went, got dropped off, had to walk up and down the block until I found that bush and found the fucking laptop. And I was looking for it for
Almost seems like you should have just not did it.
yeah, well. I got that laptop, and still have that laptop because it's a momentum. And,
A memento.
No, memento.
Memento.
Oh yeah, it's a memento. So yeah, I was like walking up and down the block and I couldn't fucking find it. I was freaking out. I'm like, what the fuck? Somebody found it, and I was freaking out. And as I crossed the street, I was off a block. So I fucking crossed the street and I was looking, I just see the light blinking in the bush. I'm like, yes, got it, got that shit.
Have you told them like every epic thing you've done? Like,
No.
Can we talk about all the crazy stuff?
Don't talk about it all. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
We've talked about some pretty crazy shit on the stream before, but not the podcast as much.
yeah.
I don't know because
Yeah, we won't, whatever.
I mean,
Whatever.
I'm not. I don't
That was
think
a
we.
long time ago.
I don't think we should
money.
tell the story about the time when you fucking tear gassed those guys for the laser pointer story.
No.
Don't tell that
that
story.
story.
It started with a laser pointer and it ended with some tear gas. You had a whole lot of toys out with the
What
other
about
night.
the cab story
Then you just tear gas some cab driver.
Yeah.
with people in the back seat?
What the fuck?
Hey, it'd be like that sometimes.
Also, another laptop.
Oh, he almost hit you
See,
on your bike, right?
I was riding home with a fucking laptop in my hands. Another stolen laptop story, and the dude fucking tried to hit me like I was crossing the street. And he's like, "Vroom."
It's
Did
crazy
that
how-
shit, and I fucking fell off my bike. And I was like, "Fuck you!" And the guy pulled over and stuck his head. He's like, "What?" And I just ran over and just fucking.
Let loose.
It's crazy to think like how you could tell a million stories about selling drugs and people would be like, "Oh, that's so cool, that's so crazy, you used to sell drugs." But you tell one story about stealing laptops, and it's just kind of like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Because everybody can relate and see the direct harm done by stealing your laptop. Like most people know what it's like to have a computer and can imagine what it would be like if they got it stolen, as opposed to like when you have a. Someone selling cocaine. Even
I'm not going to justify anything I did, but you can't.
Thank God, because if you were to sit here and try to be like, well, this is why it's okay for me to have stolen this Asian man's laptop.
It's not okay. It's not ever okay.
It's definitely not okay.
But I mean, at the time, I supported myself. I don't have anybody to help me really. You know what I mean? Like.
Right.
Whatever I did, I could go back to my mom's once in a while, but that wouldn't last too long before I always had to pay rent. And
As if you weren't spending all your fucking money on weed and Four Loko and shit.
come on, some money. But that's the computer. At the time, especially, that's how I made my money. Really, you know what I mean? So it's I just felt at the time desperate because I was like, fuck, I had shit. I didn't have shit for nothing, So, and that's the only thing I had to even at the time really make money because I was just doing fucking.
Edits and stuff.
Edits.
Like that,
That's
yeah.
it. That's how I was
BMX
supporting.
made you steal.
Well, it's still. I'm not justifying it wasn't right, but
BMX
that's
made
why
me
I did
trap.
it, so I don't know.
When BMX wasn't good for us, the trap was always there, Always kind of
That's how I found my way.
get some peas off. That's how I found my way.
That's how I found my
The
way.
shrine of the trap. Man, Young Nudie, though, we just did this interview and he was talking about people snitching on him and his homies snitching on him and shit, and it sounded terrifying. It made me like, God damn, I'm so glad that I fucking don't do anything crazy anymore.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
like,
you're the biggest snitch of all of our friends. So.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm more of a snitch, as in, if you tell me about something you did that I might
You
just
tell
start talking
literally
about.
everyone you know.
Well, yeah. No, I used to be more like that. I had more brain space to sort of devote to down stuff. Or no, what about when I'm not going to say who, but somebody told us that they were quitting as a team manager of a certain bike company, and I just immediately just said it, or I said it the next day in the group chat, and he texted me 5 minutes later, bro, I didn't want you to say that in the fucking group chat. I'm like, oh, I totally forgot that he told me that it was a secret.
Yeah.
I felt like such a dickhead because he did. He said like, "Yo, keep it low key," but I'm quitting this company.
Yeah.
Next
Yeah,
day,
I was
boom,
like,
just told 10
boom,
people. Like, man, he's
viral.
just like, but one of them right away was like, "Yo, is this true?" And he's just like, "God damn it, Adam, what the fuck is wrong with you?" I'm like, oh, I feel like such a piece of shit.
Very, very typical.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. All right, so should we wrap this up or what? What else do you want to talk about? Anything? Anything pressing?
No. Ask questions, I'll answer. That's about it.
I just want to fuck Demi. That Comethazine song, Demi. I got that stuck in my head. I gotta be honest with you.
He's probably Matt doesn't know who Catfish
I don't
is.
know. I'm like kind of out of this world.
That's okay. Everybody's out of it compared to us at this point.
Yeah,
We're just right up close to that shit.
Yeah.
Way too close.
I like Suicide Boys though.
Suicide Boys are good.
I actually really like them.
See, there you go. Hip,
You're in.
hop, a hippie to the hippie, the hip hop, and you don't stop. I love that song by Suicide Boys.
What?
That song, Rapper's Delight. Didn't they originally perform that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Back in the 80s.
Troll Gang. Hey, we used to be very early on the trolling bandwagon.
Yeah, I love trolling.
God, but we had
still
such a
do it,
weird
but we-
version of it.
Yeah, because we just like make each other believe the most obvious, not believe the. I don't even know like how
That
to
was the
explain it.
David Grant thing.
Yes.
What about
Yeah.
the David Grant thing where you would, or what about you guys would used
Shitty.
to always tell stories, but they were actually just movies? You guys used to always do that. You used to-
That was a thing for a while.
Like
you
the
start to
Step
be like,
Brothers.
yeah, well, my sister, you know, she was a boxer and stuff. And then, you know, it was like, then someone's like, wait, isn't this $1 Million Baby? It's like, well, yeah, but, you know. No, that's from The Office. They did that in an episode of The Office where,
and Step Brothers.
They did it in Step Brothers.
oh,
We were talking about
yeah.
MIT, and then we just kind of ran with it because that movie was like in heavy rotation in like our 6 DVDs that we had at the apartment.
What was the example in Step Brothers? What were they saying that was the troll that they were doing, like with fake movies? I forget.
MIT? The,
MIT. He's talking about Goodwill
Good
Hunting.
Will Hunting.
Sometimes he'll be an equation on a blackboard and I'll solve it. This is Goodwill Hunting.
What about the 80 guy cum burrito? Has that
Oh
been
my
any-
God.
Yes.
Oh, I love telling this story.
You need
Yes.
to talk about it.
Let me tell the story. All right, so me and Maddie were sitting around one night, and I was literally just watching.
Howard Stern.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, we were watching a Howard Stern episode that was called "The Biggest Whore," and it was like he had a contest on his show where he had girls come in and compete to be the biggest whore, and they would just sit there and brag about all the nastiest shit that they'd ever done. It was so gross. And the first girl that comes on is this girl Ava Devine, who's this like legendary sort of porn star that's been around for like 20 years, and Howard's like interviewing her about all this nasty shit she's done, and then Howard just goes, "So I understand you ate a 80 guy cum burrito," and she just goes, "Oh yeah." I'm like, hold up, pause, Google 80 guy cum burrito, start watching this shit. I don't even want to talk about what it is because it's 80 guys jerk off
Google it.
onto her face and she's holding a fucking tortilla under her face
With
and all the
mariachi music.
yeah, with the mariachi band.
Mariachi band in the background.
Like, I remember looking at that mariachi band and just thinking, like, imagine what this guy's day at work was like compared to his average day. Like, yo, and they all just jerk off onto her face. It drips on the tortilla. She folds it up. She tries to eat it. I'm going to leave it at that. But, yo, that was the grossest thing. And then remember how mad Mastroni was because we wouldn't stop talking about it? It was all we talked about for like weeks.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
But then he would talk about weird shit like eating candy out of his girlfriend's asshole.
He did that shit.
Yeah, runts.
I don't even want to talk about that because I feel
Mike
like
and
I,
Ike's.
Mike and Ike's, that's
Yes.
what it was.
No, he ate Mike and Ike's out of a girl's butthole. I hope he doesn't care that we're mentioning that. Yeah, that definitely happened.
Yeah,
And he told us about it like we weren't going to talk about it every fucking minute of the day for weeks afterwards.
Yeah, he got really offended.
You know what's crazy though is I ate a gummy bear out of my girlfriend's butt. I didn't even fucking. I told her that story actually, but it was more recent. We went and got some gummy bears, put a gummy bear in her butthole, fucking squeezed it out, ate it, whatever. It doesn't seem that crazy to me anymore. But I mean, shit's always like that with sex stuff. Like, you know, I used to think doing ass to mouth was like the most insane thing ever. I had so many girls fucking just suck my dick out of their asshole that to me now it's just like whatever.
Yeah, you just got used to it, I guess.
Just slowly over
To me,
time.
that's like very foreign. That's very.
And
like-
I'm not surprised, but it's just at this point I'm not really that surprised. Or like, okay, during I went to the porn awards, right? The AVN porn awards shit.
How was that?
It was pretty fun. It was cool. You know, it's just you go to a bunch of booths. There's all these girls and stuff. We like know half the fucking girls at this point.
Is it as vulgar as I think it would be? Like
no, because they can't really do anything that crazy like on the convention floor. You know, it's just a bunch of booths. It's girls. They maybe I don't think they can even show nipple. I think they have to have their nipples covered with stuff or whatever. But they're just out there. There's a bunch of like weird rooms and stuff where there'll be like some random like super fat famous porn star or something. There'll be there's like guys who are like wearing some like weird ass outfits, stuff like that. But what's actually really funny is that most of the male porn stars just have no shirt on. That's how you know that they're porn stars, because they have no shirt on. It's just like that. That's just
no
like,
name tag or anything.
that's the way you can tell. It's just no shirt, and it's like when you have like six pack. Usually, probably you kind of need a six pack to do porn. I think that's probably what's holding me back. No, but then what the fuck was I talking about? Where was the story going?
You're gonna talk about that time you got a hard on. You saw the guy getting fucked.
Okay, right. So no, there was a flyer going around for a fetish party, right? So me and my girl were like, we didn't know what it was going to be like, but we figured like, fuck it, let's go check out what the fetish party's like. You got to, go, and it's one of those things where like a Sprinter van meets you in this parking lot, and then they drive you to this random mansion, and then you get to the mansion, and there's like a big warehouse in back of the mansion, and this is just a fetish party that apparently is like pretty well known in Vegas, and it goes on like once a month or some shit like that, and it's just like a bunch of people standing around drinking, and then in the middle on the sides and stuff there's these like torture rack looking ass things where they just have girls like just like strapped into place, and there's guys like whipping them and shit, and they're all into it and stuff, but it's not that crazy. But then like that stuff on the sides not that gnarly, it's like kind of weird, but whatever. And then there's like this big couch thing in the middle, and fucking a guy just comes out all fucking gay as hell with a collar on, all this weird ass shit, and me and Leonard are just standing there not knowing what is about to happen, and like this girl comes out with a big ass strap on.
I knew you were gonna say that.
And she just plows this dude in the asshole, bro, and then fucking
You just watch it?
She did ass to mouth with him with the strap on. And we just stood there and just watched it. I mean, but then it happened like a bunch of times in a row, and there was all kinds of other weird shit. Like some chick comes out and pisses all over this dude's face, and just crazy shit keeps happening. And the really funny part is that like multiple times during this, people come up to me and they're like, "Hey, aren't you Adam22?" They're like, "I didn't know you were into this." I'm like, "I'm not into it. I swear to God, I'm not into it. I'm just here." And like, it was just...
That's a wild ride.
Well, it was weird because after a while, you kind of like almost forget what you're looking at, and we were just standing around because there's like random porn star girls there.
I wonder what the conversations are on the side.
I mean, our conversations were pretty normal, which is, that's almost the weird part about it, is that there's other porn girls there. You're standing there, you're talking about, oh yeah, on Monday I got to go to the dentist, and then you look over and like she's just pissing all over this guy's face, and you're just like, I don't know. It's like weird because I don't consider myself homophobic at all, but like definitely watching these dudes get plowed in the ass was pretty like uncomfortable for me.
For sure, that seems very abrasive.
It was definitely strange.
That's crazy.
And like then I went home and like I was vlogging for the day, and obviously I didn't show any of this, but let me get that. Okay, I was talking about this butt play, but I didn't.
You got a hard on when it happened too, so.
No, I know I did it. Because Lena kept checking. Lena kept tapping my penis to see if I would
know
get
I
hard.
didn't because I might have.
I wasn't thinking about it, but Lena said she wanted to check to see if I was gay or not, so she kept tapping my penis to fucking see if I was getting hard
I feel
or
like
not.
that would work against you though, almost.
Right, the tapping almost was like a little bit of friction. It's like, hey, get out of here! I don't want
making this worse.
I don't want anyone transferring blood to my penis while I'm seeing this.
Yeah. Too much going on.
Whole lot of gay shit.
Gay shit.
A whole lot of gay shit. That's right, Lavelle. Lavelle, you got to explain to your homies in the hood who are watching this right now that you do not support this kind of fuckery.
I don't support this kind of fuckery, guys. I don't.
Understandable. All right. I feel like we've kind of... That was probably a high point. I don't know if we're going to do any better than talking about the fucking...
Yeah.
But I feel bad for the people who have already heard that. They're like, why are you telling the story again?
Yeah, well...
I just really want to get it out there. Anyway, the whole point I was trying to make is that like now, if I went to another party and that was what the kind of party was, I'd be like, seen this
You
before.
wouldn't even be shocked.
I would be, I'd be like, oh, I would be shocked, but I'd be like, oh, this shit again. What the fuck? No.
More just have to deal with it.
Whereas most people are hearing that story and they're like, wow, I've never seen anything like that. I've seen it once, so now it's kind of like if I saw it again, I would just be like, man, this shit is weird. It's like, I'm glad I got to experience it, even though it's kind of unpleasant.
Are you glad?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think about it every night.
I know. You gay.
You right. All right. We out. Thank you very much to everybody who watched this. Much respect to Lavelle, Matty Long, Chris Long. Hope you guys all enjoyed getting to know a little bit about our history of being scumbags in New England.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matty, who continues his career of being a scumbag in New England. You ever think about moving out here?
No, I actually think about moving to like Maine, just further away from people.
Fuck?
I
You're a
know,
custy.
It's weird. I'm
Maine.
getting
Yeah.
weird.
Damn.
Yeah.
Move out there and get into meth.
Meth
Well, you
doesn't
just-
exist in Maine.
I bet it does.
I bet it does. For
You
sure.
fucking
Somebody's
you
trapping
like
that
heroin? What's stopping you from getting into fucking heroin or Xans or something?
I've just never been into it. I've never done anything. I've never tried a Xanax before.
Really?
Someone get him a Xan.
I've never.
Right now.
No,
This
never.
man is Xan.
Shove a Xan down
And a
his throat.
Corona.
No, you're from New England. You've already got it in your blood to be addicted to it.
Opiates. Yeah.
Yes.
it's
By
It's in the
being
water,
born in
like,
New
it's
England, it's in the
super-
water.
Yeah.
All right, I am going to end this now. Thank you very much to everybody who watched this entire fucking thing. If you did, you're a wizard, and you should definitely comment #wizard in the comments because
Wizard.
then we'll know that you actually made it to this point. Anyway, nojumper.com, buy some merch, subscribe, like, comment, follow these guys on Instagram. We out of here. Bang.
I'm just chilling with Adam, Yeah, I'm just chilling with Adam, I'm just chilling with Adam, Little Dusty Host Skedaddle, I'm just chilling with